The story begins in a quiet high school classroom. As the last bell echoes through the building, Daiki turns to his classmate and says, "Time to go home," but Shimizu, resting her head on her desk, shows no reaction. Daiki hesitates and wonders, should I try to wake her up? Just then, a boy with a paper bag on his head suddenly pops up from under the desk and says, "Daiki, how can you just sit near her like that?" Surprised, Daiki replies, "Shunya, what a rude thing to say." With an exaggerated shiver, Shunya exclaims, "She's a delinquent. It's natural to be afraid." Daiki looks puzzled. "Really?" "Yes." Shunya doubles down, "Of course. It was clear earlier." He proceeds to recount a dramatic classroom event, recalling the teacher's sharp voice. "How many times must I ask you to get your hair dyed black?" But Shimizu simply walks away and retorts, "No way, I'm changing it to a different color." With a proud nod, Shunya concludes, "That's what happened." Daiki just responds, "I see," and then adds, "She's asleep now, it's fine." This makes her less scary. Shunya scoffs, "You're the only one who says that." Daiki, now more curious, asks, "Anyway, what's the deal with hiding away just to come here?" With a spark in his eyes, Shunya declares, "Glad you asked." Then in a solemn voice he confesses, "I like Sito-san." Daiki reflects silently, picturing her and thinking, I don't know her much, given that she doesn't stand out. Shunya turns the question on him. "Daiki-san, is there anyone you like?" Daiki blinks and replies, "Huh? No." Shunya groans, "That's boring." Daiki's inner monologue reveals a deeper truth. "I don't care about love and don't have any ambitions. I've never seriously dedicated myself to anything. I just live an ordinary life." Unlike me, Shunya takes these things seriously. Occasionally it makes me feel lonely. Shunya asks again, this time with a twist, "So, if you're not into anyone, is there a kind of girl you're drawn to?" Daiki admits, "Never pictured myself being in a relationship." Shunya clarifies, "I'm referring to looks." Daiki thinks for a moment and answers, "Maybe someone with an elegant style." Shunya leans in, "Could you be more specific?" Daiki nods, "A person who wears the uniform as it should be. Long black hair would be a plus." Shunya probes further, "What about accessories?" "They're permitted at school as long as they're not too showy." Daiki answers, "Someone who doesn't draw too much attention is fine." Shunya laughs, "So you picked the simple route. It's getting interesting. What comes next?" "Shunya, how about your club?" Daiki suddenly remembers, "Oh, is it that late already? I've got to hurry to the club. Take care." The next day, Daiki notices Shimizu's seat is empty and wonders, Shimizu-san arriving late today? Suddenly the classroom door slides open, and whispers ripple through the room, always so blunt. So scary. Avoid eye contact. Really? Shimizu-san? It can't be, what? That's... Even Daiki is stunned. Shimizu has dyed her hair black. As he watches her enter, he recalls his conversation with Shunya and thinks, amazing. Perfect. But I still feel it's only a coincidence. She walks toward him and stops at his desk, staring silently. Daiki, sweating under the pressure, is frozen until the teacher breaks the tension. "Let's get started with the art class." She takes her seat and Daiki wonders what just happened. Did I mess up with Shimizu-san? I thought I was behaving normally, or maybe not. The teacher announces today, you'll be working in pairs. Pair up with the person next to you, and decide who will draw first. Daiki, trying to keep things calm, says, I'm counting on you, Shimizu-san. Do you want to be the first to draw or would you rather go afterwards? She responds flatly, the order doesn't matter. Do it as you wish. Daiki thinks, seems like classic Shimizu-san and asks, so, can I go first? She nods. While playing with her hair, she suddenly asks, not that I mind, but did something catch your eye? Before Daiki can respond, the teacher interrupts, have you decided who will model? We'll start in 10 minutes. While posing, try to maintain a relaxed posture. Shimizu sits posing. Daiki, pencil in hand, asks, Shimizu-san, are you feeling okay in this position? She replies, it's simpler like this. Or would you like me to put my hands on my knees? Daiki reassures her, it's fine if you're comfortable this way. She responds, okay then. When the teacher tells everyone to start, Daiki begins drawing, but he pauses, staring at her knees. Shimizu snaps, hey, why did you suddenly stop? Flustered, he stammers, sorry. And she flips her hair with a huff. Later, Daiki says, I'll be drawing your face now, so stay in position and look at me, Shimizu-san. She blushes and protests, huh? But this, hey. But. Daiki calmly adds, if your face starts to itch, just let me know before. It's not an issue. She looks down with a gloomy expression and says, huh? That wasn't it? Daiki thinks, oh, so she was just angry? Their eyes meet briefly and she suddenly says, hold off on the face for now, I need to prepare. There's still so much to do while turning away. Daiki quickly adjusts, got it, I'll draw another area. So I'll move it down a bit. Shimizu, startled, covers her chest and yells, "Hey Hondo! Where do you think you're staring at?" Daiki averts his eyes and stutters, "Where?" A bit below the face. She narrows her eyes, "Why are you gazing over here?" He pleads, "I have no bad intentions. I swear." She raises an eyebrow, "Really?" He says yes. She stares at him and demands, "Could you say again that you don't have any bad intentions?" Daiki thinks being observed this way by someone of the opposite sex is awkward, isn't it? Then he puts on a serious face and declares, "No bad intentions." Shimizu nods and wonders silently, was it better to be honest? Suddenly, Daiki blurts out, "I'm sorry Shimizu-san, I lied." He continues, "I said I had no bad intentions, but maybe I did have a little. No, maybe even more than that. I'm sorry." Shimizu presses, "So you saw that part of my body and had some lewd thoughts?" He admits, "Yes." She says calmly, "I'll forgive you this time. I was also feeling a bit nervous. There's one condition though." Daiki asks, "What is it?" She replies, "From now on I won't move, so make sure to draw me well." He nods, "Don't worry." After a while, Daiki announces, "Shimizu-san, now I'll be drawing your face, okay?" She responds with renewed energy, "Sure. Go for it." Daiki smiles, "I'll get started then." He looks at her and adds, "Shimizu-san, calm down." She asks, "Do I look nervous?" He says, "Your face looks quite stern." She shuffles and says, "Hold on," then locks eyes with him and asks, "Like this?" Daiki replies, "It hasn't changed much." Frustrated, she grabs her side hair and sighs, "Nothing seems to be working." Daiki, trying to ease her tension, says, "Shimizu-san, the black hair looks great on you." She turns red and stammers, "Don't just say stuff like that out of the blue." Ah. She adds softly, "I thought you hadn't even noticed." Daiki, curious, asks, "What was the reason for choosing black?" She makes a funny face and responds, "It's nothing special. Just draw already, will you?" Daiki laughs and she asks, "What's so funny?" He replies, "I just didn't expect you to make such a funny expression. I've been enjoying myself since we started chatting." She looks at him and asks, "Do you say that to everyone?" Daiki says, "Honestly, I'm saying this for the first time." Shimizu exhales and says, "Sure, keep going. Keep drawing. We're short on time." Daiki nods okay and thinks, good to see she's a bit more at ease. When he finishes the drawing, he says, "With everyone finished, you can now relax. Thank you for posing as my model, Shimizu-san." She replies, "It was nothing," and leans in, "Let me have a look." Daiki hands it over and asks, "What do you think?" She studies it and says, "Anyone who sees it will realize it's me." Then she asks, "I have a question about your drawing." Daiki tilts his head, "What is it?" Shimizu points at the sketch and asks, "What's the reason for the thin lines on my face?" Daiki answers honestly, "I just drew what I saw," and thinks, "Does it look bad?" Shimizu unexpectedly blushes. The teacher announces the rest period has ended. Change places. You have 10 minutes to draw your partner. Daiki offers, "I'll model now. Do you want me to take any particular pose?" She replies, "It's up to you." As Daiki poses, she begins sketching, occasionally glancing up. He stares at her and she hides her face, murmuring, "Don't look at me so seriously." Daiki asks, "So, should I face that way?" Shimizu panics, "Look at me." "Wait, don't look." Later, walking home, Shimizu recalls the compliment Daiki gave her, and smiles quietly to herself. Meanwhile, Daiki reflects, the day Shimizu-san dyed her hair black was the day my routine began to shift. The next day in the classroom, Shunya bursts out with excitement, handmade lunches. They're the best. Daiki, a bit surprised, asks, "What's up with you all of a sudden?" Shunya replies, "Daiki, you always buy sandwiches from the cafeteria." Daiki shrugs and says, "I always wake up tired. No way I can make lunch." Shunya leans in, eyes gleaming, "Well, in that case, if the girl you like makes you lunch, how would you take it?" Daiki smiles a little and admits, "That would make me really happy." Shunya claps his hands, "Right? Even better if it's something you like." Daiki chuckles, "You seem really excited." Shunya sighs dreamily, "Wish it were an omelet." Daiki adds with a grin, "Or maybe some beef." Then he thinks to himself, to get a lunch every now and then? Yeah, it would be a dream. Daiki remembers something and says, "By the way, we have cooking class tomorrow." Shunya nods, "That's right. If I were in Sito-san's group, I could taste Herrick food." Daiki says, "It would be nice to cook together." Shunya quickly asks, "Oh, are you interested?" Daiki answers, "Often do it on my own. Sometimes I wish I could cook with someone else." In his thoughts, he mutters, "My sister never helps me with household chores." Shunya beams, "Oh, it would be great to cook with someone you like." Daiki quickly replies, "Not necessarily with someone I like." Then he reflects, "Wouldn't it be better to cook with someone I have a crush on?" Meanwhile, Shimizu is nearby, quietly tapping her phone and overhearing their conversation. Shunya asks, "Is there a girl in your group, Daiki?" He answers, "For now, it's just Shimizu-san." Shunya leans in and whispers, I don't remember ever seeing her in cooking class. Daiki shrugs, it'll be fun though, we're going to make sautéed vegetables. Shunya grins, let's do our best. The next day in cooking class the teacher announces, listen. The groups will split into different roles so that everything runs well. We'll make sautéed vegetables. As we already decided, just then Shimizu enters the class. Students murmur, she has never come to this class before. Why come today? Scary. Shimizu-san? Daiki sees her and says, that apron looks good on you. Also, we're in the same group, let's do our best. She blushes and the teacher signals to start. A student asks who will cut the ingredients. Daiki steps up, I will. Don't worry. It's quite a task, but Shimizu cuts in, I'll help you. Daiki looks surprised, what? She repeats, I said I'm going to cut the ingredients too. It'll go faster if we work together. Besides, if I don't help, they'll say I didn't do anything. Daiki smiles, I'm fine with it. I'll take the help. Do you like to cook, Shimizu-san? She stammers, sweating, count on me. Daiki notices her nervous face and asks, will it be okay? Do you really think you can? She insists, leave it to me. Daiki thinks for some reason I'm really worried, but it would be really cruel to leave her alone. Don't see why I should doubt. And says aloud, let's work together, Shimizu-san. He suggests, how about we divide it by shifts? She replies confidently, I got this. Daiki says, Shimizu-san, would you mind starting with the cabbage? Just adjust it to a more suitable size. She grabs the cabbage like a basketball and says, got it? Daiki thinks, so, I'm starting with the carrot. Suddenly Shimizu slams the cabbage on the table and grabs a knife like a butcher. Daiki turns pale and says, Shimizu-san? Could you lower the knife for a moment? She blinks, sure. Daiki nervously asks, what were you about to do? She answers innocently, what are you talking about? Weren't we cutting the cabbage? Daiki says, okay, but that's how you hold the knife, got it? She mutters, I was nervous. I always hold it like this. Daiki reassures her, indeed, cooking in front of people can be tricky. She agrees exactly, but I'm okay now. Shall I go on? He nods, any doubts, feel free to ask. She places her hand on the cabbage like she's about to stab it. Daiki quickly says, wait. She asks, what's up now? He exclaims, what way of chopping is that? She explains, I was going to cut it into small strips. He responds, well, it's not exactly wrong, it shouldn't be tiny. We'll be doing sautéed vegetables today. She asks, really? Daiki thinks, it almost ended up as sautéed vegetables and grated cabbage. She asks, what's the right size? He says, I'll show you. But first, cut the cabbage in half to make it more stable. She does and he praises her, maintain this pace while cutting. She says okay and starts cutting the cabbage perfectly. She then picks up an onion and nervously says, next up, the onion. Daiki thinks, almost done. Come on, Shimizu-san. My part's all done. He instructs, Shimizu-san, keep your left hand like a cat's paw, and demonstrates with a pose. She copies it but turns it into a fighting stance. Daiki panics, you're going to kill someone. She asks, what? Isn't this correct? He replies quickly, don't worry, it's all right. And thinks, looked like a fight was going to break out. She asks, so, do I cut it like this? He nods, yep, that's it. But maybe it's better to adjust the cat's paw position a bit. She asks, where do I position it? Daiki tries explaining but decides the ideal would be for her to try it herself. He then says, lend me your hand for a moment, Shimizu-san. She pulls back, surprised, what are you planning to do? He answers gently, I'll show you how to position your hand. I thought of holding your hand to show you how it's done, but he thinks she probably doesn't like being touched. So he says, apologies if I made you uneasy. She replies, you can take my hand and teach me. I said it's okay. He asks, are you sure? She responds, we can't go back now. Daiki gently places his hand over hers on the onion. Nearby students stare at them. Shimizu turns to them and says, has anyone lost anything here? The students quickly turn away. Daiki asks, all good? Not putting too much pressure? She mumbles, ugh, this shouldn't be like this. Something's wrong. She adds, I'm sorry, I feel like I'm causing trouble. He comforts her, nothing is perfect right away. Don't worry. Place the blade where you want to make the cut. Keep your hand like a cat's paw. And start cutting like this. Onion chopped. You're nailing it. He thinks, yes. I was nervous at first, but then Shimizu proudly raises her hand. I managed to learn the cat's paw technique. Daiki is amazed and thinks she looks like a kitten, then says, shall we cut the rest now? She says, I'll handle it. After a while their dish is finished, and it's delicious. Daiki reflects, at the beginning I thought it might go wrong. But I'm glad we managed to do it. Shimizu tastes it and smiles. She then looks at Daiki and asks, Hondo, may I ask a question? She continues, how did you feel, About cooking with me? Daiki replies sincerely, I must admit at first I was afraid you might get hurt. However, I'm so happy we got to cook together. It was a blast. It was fun because you really put in the effort. It would be nice if we could do this together again in the next class. She responds, we can do it again. Well, if you want. He smiles and she asks, what's so funny? He says, I thought you would turn me down. I'm counting on you next time, Shimizu-san. She replies, why yeah? It can't be helped. Daiki smiles again and thinks, one of my wishes has come true, on such a day. That night, Shimizu sat in the bathtub, warm steam swirling around her face as her thoughts drifted toward Daiki. Her brows furrowed slightly as her fingers brushed the water's surface. It wasn't supposed to be like this. I just wanted to prove to him that I could cook. I didn't expect his hands to be this strong, but... She leaned back, a soft blush spreading across her cheeks as she recalled the sensation of Daiki's grip. Her chest tightened, not unpleasantly, as she remembered his words. He said he enjoyed cooking with me. The thought was too much. With a frustrated puff, she splashed cold water onto her face, trying to cool her thoughts. Then reality struck. Wait. He could have said that to anyone. Her eyes widened as panic set in. She slapped her cheeks. No way. There has to be something. That's right. Like a lightning bolt of hope, a memory lit up in her mind. Daiki's voice filled with honest appreciation. Handmade lunches, they're the best. Before she could bask in that warmth, the bathroom door creaked open and her sister peeked in with a grin. Hey, your precious sister is here. Shimizu jumped with a yelp. Her sister laughed. Did I scare you? Want me to wash your back? Shimizu turned red and barked back, flustered. No. Wait for me to finish. But her sister was relentless, voice sing-songy and teasing. I want to talk to my sister. If you don't want to discuss romance right now, can't we talk about something else? Is there anything I can help you with? Your lovely sister can advise you on romance or maybe romance or perhaps romance. Shimizu sighed and lowered her voice. Yeah, I have something in mind. Not long after, the two were in the kitchen, aprons tied tight. Her sister listened with a knowing smile as Shimizu explained the situation. I totally get it. You want to impress a boy who has helped you a lot by showcasing your cooking skills, which is why you want to make him lunch. Shimizu nodded, slightly bashful. To sum it up, yes. Her sister clapped her hands. So, as a test, you're going to cook fried chicken with ginger. Shimizu gave it her best shot, but when the dish was done, she stared down at the plate, grimacing. I think I messed up a bit. Her sister blinked and tilted her head. Just a bit? No need to worry. It's still just the first step. Don't give up. Your sister is here for you. Fight. Next day. Back in the kitchen, Shimizu took a deep breath and straightened her apron. All right, let's get to work. Her sister pumped a fist, cheering her on as Shimizu moved to the chicken. But when she brought out the cutting board, aren't you supposed to only cut the tendons? How tiny. Turned out so small. Weren't you supposed to make fried chicken? Shimizu stared down in horror. What? It's way too different? It's completely wrong. They tried again. Her sister placed the chest piece in front of her. This time, chop it better than you did before. After that, let it fry on low heat. It looks great. This is definitely going to turn out well. But when it was done, her sister poked the meat with a frown. Why does it look like slime? No idea. Shimizu mumbled. She tasted it, only to gag. It doesn't look like chicken or ginger at all. Her sister looked concerned. Well, is there another way to thank him? You don't have to push yourself so much. We can save lunch for another day. But Shimizu's eyes burned with determination. No. I want to learn how to prepare lunch now. Her sister tilted her head. What? I want to thank him right away. In her heart, Shimizu whispered. And see his satisfied expression. Her sister stepped closer. It's all about returning the favor right away. It's hard to bear the thought that I can't achieve this. With dramatic flair, her sister transformed into a cheerleader outfit. Then you need to give your best. Let's fight. Shimizu blinked. Were you wearing that underneath? Her sister beamed. After all, your sister is a noisy one. Let me show you the excellent counseling ability of the vice president of the student council. You're just making me anxious? Shimizu sighed. And so they worked hard, for entire. In the end, AI's face lost its joy. Shimizu stood in front of a smoking pan, shoulders sagging. What? Her sister gave her a sympathetic look. Well, you did put in some effort. At least it has the right shape. You're making me even sadder. School is just around the corner. No time to eat. I'll just take it anyway. Her sister asked with concern. Even though mom prepared lunch for you? It's not good to waste food. As she packed 2 lunch boxes, Shimizu's heart sank. I'll stop making lunch. There's no way to eat this. No matter how kind Hondo is, even he wouldn't want this. Her sister noticed the gloom and offered a gentle smile. Don't lose heart. The kitchen is all about love. It was prepared with so much love. Classroom. Shimizu sat at her desk, lunchbox in hand, her fingers trembling. Love? If he thinks it's good, I won't mind. She looked up and saw Daiki's face. What's wrong? You seem a bit down. Daiki rubbed the back of his head. I'm sorry. Shimizu-san. I left my wallet at home, end up missing lunch. Can't you get Matsuoka to help? Shunya has a meeting at the football club today. Like I said, I'll end up not having lunch today. I apologize for worrying you, Shimizu-san. She stared at the lunch boxes, heart pounding. Doesn't worry me. She stood up, walked over and held one out to him. It's yours now. He blinked. I'm really glad, but what about you, Shimizu-san? My portion is here. My parents prepared the one he's got, so it'll be okay. He paused. Wait, then whose is this one? Doesn't matter. I'm giving it to you simply for helping me in cooking class. Anyway, I can't finish 2 whole bentos, so don't stress about it. Got it. If Shimizu-kan has her portion, then it's fine for me to eat. I appreciate the gesture. No problem. She opened her own box, and her face paled. They're exchanged. Panic rose in her throat. He hasn't opened it yet. I need to switch them quickly. How do I take it back after handing it to him? It's a complete disaster. She watched, frozen as he opened it, blackened, smoky meat inside. He picked up his chopsticks. He didn't even notice? He ate it. He's eating like it's no big deal. Is he going to be okay? Even if I were to eat, it's still dangerous. He glanced up, meeting her wide eyes. It's hard to eat with someone staring so much. Shimizu-san? Hondo, are you okay? What? You're not feeling pressured to eat? Are you? Did you add any seasoning to the chicken that you wouldn't? Did he manage to recognize that it was chicken? I didn't add anything. Did you not notice anything while eating? No. Could it be that love is the flavor of despair? I feel depressed just thinking about it. I like roasted ginger, that's why. I get emotional when I eat it. If you think it's bad, just say so. What? I can't say that. After all, Shimizu-san, you went out of your way to prepare a lunch for me. She gasped. Why do you think I was the one who made it? Because you asked me if I thought it was bad. If you hadn't said that, it wouldn't be you who prepared it, Shimizu-san. She had no words. So that's the case. Is it really fine for me to eat the lunch you put so much effort into making? He paid such close attention to me. I cooked it because I wanted you to eat. I'm so happy you got to eat. Should I tell him that? I can't. It makes me feel embarrassed. Shimizu-san? It's okay. I prepared this lunch on a whim, that's it. I gave it to you because I didn't think I could eat it all by myself. But you still worked hard to make them, right? In the past few days you seemed a bit down, but after seeing you today, Shimizu-san, I think it's related to the lunch you made. Since we were together on the day of the cooking class, I immediately noticed how much you improved. You put in a lot of effort. Cooking is all about love. Oh, this omelet tastes great. There are so many different flavors. That's enough, just be quiet and eat. After he finished, Shimizu reached out. Could you pass me the box? I would like to wash it and return it clean, is that okay? I mentioned that this bento is a gratitude for the cooking so you can take advantage of my goodwill. Thank you again for sure. The food, Shimizu-san. It's nothing. One more thing, thank you for feeding me today. I was in trouble. You really helped me. I'm really happy to eat a lunch that Shimizu-san made. I'll compensate you next time. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. I'm really happy. Shimizu-san, are you okay? You don't need to thank me, but if I make another bento just for the sake of it, you better eat it as well. Sure. I can't wait for it. That night, Shimizu hugged her pillow, rolling across the bed with a wide grin on her face. The bento, he looked satisfied. She let out a joyful cry, heart dancing. I'm so happy. I'm going to make another bento. At home, Shimizu sat quietly with a cooking book open in her lap, her brow furrowed in determination. Her eyes traced the page, but her thoughts drifted elsewhere. Handed him the bento, but I'm not completely satisfied with the result, so I'll try again. Next time, both the appearance and the taste will surprise you with perfect flavor. She smiled softly, her heart fluttering as she imagined Daiki's voice, warm and full of praise. It was unbelievably tasty, Shimizu-san. Her face lit up in a flush of excitement as her imagination took over. Will he request a bento from me every single day? Will we be able to get even closer? I'm happy I was able to thank him for the help he gave me in the cooking class. It'll be easier to express myself next time. As long as everything stays on track, I'll be able to thank him the same way I did then. Just then her sister AI popped into the room, interrupting her daydream. I heard you managed to thank him for the cooking class. Is that right? Shimizu snapped her head up, startled and furious. Who the fuck said that? AI smirked playfully. It's a secret. So, how did the thank you go? Was there anything else besides the help in class? I won't tell you. What? And for what purpose? So, tell me about the person you're interested in. No chance at all. Why don't you ever tell me anything? I want to talk about romance with you. Isn't it fun? I don't want to. Besides, you're the only one having fun. That's not true. I'm great at giving advice. I don't expect anything from you. Don't underestimate the experience of an older sister. Even if it's just a 1-year difference? Even so, a year is still a year. Trust your sister. You don't have faith in me? That's because you always talk with that weird attitude. AI huffed and placed her hands on her hips. Well, I hope you haven't forgotten Kay. Your big sister helped you in the kitchen. Don't you recall that late your awful meals too? Then she leaned in teasingly. What type of person is Kay interested in? Who is this guy Daiki Hondo? Shimizu's eyes widened in panic. You already know the name? She couldn't hold back her feelings anymore. He's incredibly pure and kind. He's quite unique. Unique? Yes, Daiki Hondo is a unique boy. Ever since that time we met. The scene blurred into memory. A chaotic school hallway. A student called out. Hondo, I need you to take care of the cleaning today. Switch with me. I must get back soon. I can't help it. Daiki responded gently without hesitation. No worries, I'll handle the cleaning. From across the hallway Shimizu had watched. The impression I got from that boy whom I rarely met was of someone shy and excessively kind. Whenever I saw him I got the impression that he was helping someone but without engaging in any manner, not knowing each other's names, nor having ever talked before. He didn't catch my attention. I saw him as a weak character rather than a kind person. A new memory surfaced. Shimizu facing a boy she had just rejected. Is it love at first sight for all of them or what? What? The boy asked. Couldn't you turn me down a bit more gently? Perhaps give it more thought before saying something? She responded coldly. I can't date someone whose name I don't even know. His face twisted in anger. Just because you have a pretty face, you act so full of yourself. He suddenly grabbed her arm, his voice rising. I'm confessing my feelings and yet. Before things escalated, Daiki stepped in between them. Excuse me, but my name is Daiki Hondo. Shimizu blinked in disbelief. Is he in his right mind? He suddenly started introducing. The boy snarled at Daiki. Tell me, what's your relationship with her? She's someone I have just met. Someone who is not her friend nor her boyfriend. Has no right to get involved in my confession. Daiki remained calm. I'm sorry. If everything were all right I would let it go, but you grabbed her arm tightly, that's why I had to step in. And still, you shouldn't put a hand on her. This will make you a bad person. Shimizu recalled quietly. After that Hondo spent some time convincing the boy. She braced herself, her thoughts swirling. Wait, is he going to say something like, I helped you so let's date? Otherwise, why would he help someone he doesn't even know? But instead, Daiki simply said, I'll take my leave as well. In that case, she stood frozen, a statue of indecision. But she couldn't let him walk away. Not without knowing. I wanted to ask you a question. It didn't end up here by coincidence, did you? Do people actually get into dangerous situations without thinking beforehand? He replied simply. I saw you heading to the back of the school with that boy, and I knew he had a short temper. So, I ended up worrying. So is that why you followed me? Yeah. You really are a good person. For someone who is neither a friend nor an acquaintance, not everyone would go to such lengths. But Daiki shook his head. Not like that. I'm doing this for my own sake. If I didn't do anything and you ended up in trouble, I would end up hating myself. That's why I chose to intervene. And isn't that a way to be good? People who are truly good are those who don't want to see others suffering. I do these things so I won't feel sad. I behave like this to prevent distress. That's all. That's why you took such. Don't you mind getting hurt? That's also something I don't like, but the regret would be even more painful. Her heart twisted at his words. His sorrowful expression worried me. Has he ever faced such intense regret? She said softly. If you keep acting this way, someday you'll end up suffering the consequences. I'll make sure to be careful. Thanks. Since then I began to see him in a new light. Due to his gentle nature, I started tracking him with my eyes whenever I encountered him. Back to the present, Shimizu told her sister honestly. It was not what I had anticipated. You haven't thanked him yet for what he did that day, have you? Shimizu's forehead beaded with sweat. That's true. Well, although we're in the same school now, maybe because I dyed my hair blonde, he seems to treat me as if it's the first time we're meeting. Oh, so it might be more difficult to express gratitude now. Shimizu thought bitterly. During that time, I was unable to say a word of thanks. It's something that has been troubling me for quite some time. Her sister smiled, softening. I can see why Kay likes him. Eh? Daiki is a nice guy, don't you think? No, that's not what I meant. I thought we were talking about how unique he was, remember? He's a unique boy, that's why you're interested, right? Ah, sure. Why not use another method? As for expressing gratitude, invite Daiki on a date. Shimizu turned bright red and burst out. Date? Subscribing today may not fix your life problems, but it will make my day. Help me hit 1,000 subs so I can finally tell my mom this YouTube thing is working. Back in her middle school days, Shimizu was used to attention. Her beauty was magnetic. Students often approached her with bold declarations of affection, swept away by nothing more than her appearance. One even claimed it was love at first sight. But deep down she knew the truth. None of it had anything to do with who she truly was. It was always about her looks. Never about her personality, her thoughts, or her feelings. So when she entered high school, she made a decision. She changed her appearance, dyed her hair, altered her style, and with that, the attention faded. People stopped hovering around her. For the first time in years, she felt invisible, and oddly she preferred it that way. What surprised her, though, was that Daiki didn't recognize her anymore. The boy who once stood out in her past now looked at her as if she were a stranger. Lately she couldn't help but wonder, was he avoiding her or did he really not remember? That question lingered until one day she overheard a conversation between Shunya and Daiki. Shunya brought up her name, joking that she was scary. Her bleached blonde hair apparently broke school rules, and the glare she gave when someone made eye contact? According to him, it was enough to petrify anyone. Standing nearby, Shimizu listened with an annoyed expression, clearly unimpressed by the assumptions being made about her. But just before walking away she heard Daiki begin to respond. There was something about the way he said her name, something softer. Then the memory ended and she was back in the present. Shimizu sat beside her sister Ai, who had clearly noticed the blush spreading across her cheeks. Ai teased her about Daiki, claiming she'd been thinking about him. Shimizu brushed it off, denying the accusation, but her sister wasn't convinced. Ai smirked and made a playful jab, pointing out that Shimizu had recently been picking out cute clothes. Obviously for someone. Shimizu tried to protest, claiming Daiki didn't care about appearances, but Ai simply reminded her that deep down, every girl wants to look good for the one she likes. In that quiet moment, Shimizu admitted something to herself. More than anything, she longed to hear those same words Daiki had once said to her. Words that, to this day, still lingered in her heart. Meanwhile, at Daiki's house, his younger sister Kino approached him while he was finishing the dishes. She asked if he could head to the shopping mall to pick up a game she had reserved. Daiki questioned why she wasn't going herself, and she responded with the usual excuse, she had to study. But he knew her too well. She was simply reluctant to leave the house. Despite that, he agreed without complaint. He never could say no to her. Later, at Xi'an Mall, he picked up the game with ease and was just about to head home when he spotted a familiar figure, long black hair that stirred a quiet recognition. It was Shimizu. He called out to her. She turned, blushing the moment she saw who it was. They exchanged a few casual words. She asked why he was there. He returned the question. Their conversation was brief, awkward but warm. Then, unexpectedly, Ai appeared beside her. She immediately recognized Daiki and asked if he was the infamous Hondo-kun. When he admitted he was, she looked surprised. Apparently, he didn't recognize her at all. Ai, always full of flair, introduced herself as the vice president of the student council, adding that she was also a super one. Daiki still seemed unsure. To break the tension, Ai asked if he had finished shopping. He explained he had picked up a game for his sister and was planning to head home. With a mischievous grin, Ai casually asked if he had any plans. When he said no, she invited him out to join them for a little date. And just like that, Daiki found himself caught in the gravitational pull of not one, but two sisters. The next scene found the three of them in a restaurant sharing dinner. Daiki was still trying to figure out Ai's angle. She was clearly enjoying herself, and clearly scheming something. Midway through the meal, AI turned the conversation to family, asking about Daiki's sister. He admitted, a little embarrassed, that she was cute, though he might have been biased. Then came the surprise question: who was prettier, his sister or Shimizu? Shimizu nearly choked on her drink, flustered by the comparison. But Daiki gave a calm, honest answer. He said Shimizu wasn't just pretty, she was beautiful. Those words hit her harder than she expected. Her cheeks flushed and she stood up quickly, mumbling something about getting a drink before fleeing the table. Daiki turned to AI, trying to figure out what Shimizu might have told her about him. Meanwhile, Shimizu, who had rushed to get the drinks with lightning speed, now crouched behind a chair, trying to hide her burning face. AI leaned toward Daiki and lowered her voice. She told him that Shimizu had always been beautiful, but lately, there was something different about her. Something radiant. After all she'd been through, she had chosen to isolate herself for a long time. But now, it seemed like she was finally beginning to enjoy life again. Then came the question. AI asked Daiki how he really felt about her. He paused, then spoke slowly, thoughtfully. He said that ever since their first year they'd talked often. Shimizu had always been someone who truly listened. She never interrupted, always responded with care. She was kind. And more than that, she was a person of integrity. AI gave a satisfied nod, as if she'd just completed a successful interview with a dream candidate. She pointed out that Shimizu had technically broken school rules by dyeing her hair, but Daiki calmly replied that she must have had her reasons. AI smiled at that. She told him that he really paid attention, and then, as if confessing something, asked him to stay by Shimizu's side. Ever since she dyed her hair black again, people had begun noticing her more. It made AI uneasy. But if it was Daiki, maybe things would be okay. Daiki didn't hesitate. He said he refused. Then clarified, he wouldn't just stay by her side. He'd be there, always. At that moment, Shimizu returned and asked what they were talking about. AI teased her, saying she sounded curious. Shimizu, flustered, denied it immediately. That's when AI dropped the bomb, casually saying that Daiki had confessed he liked her. Shimizu's face turned crimson. She tried to hide her reaction, but it was too late. Daiki meanwhile looked at the sisters and quietly thought to himself that they really did get along. Maybe too well. Then AI stood and declared that dinner was over, and the real date was just beginning. As they left the restaurant, a quiet memory echoed in Shimizu's mind. Back then, Daiki had once said something simple but meaningful. That she was kind. That he enjoyed talking to her. And in this moment, surrounded by the warmth she once thought she'd lost, she realized just how much those words still meant. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends, and also with your calculator, your fridge, your grandma's smart TV, whatever's connected to Wi-Fi. Help me hit 1,000 subs. At a clothing store in the shopping mall, Shimizu stood holding up a pair of pants, examining them with mild interest. Daiki, standing beside her, glanced over and asked curiously if she liked that kind of clothing. She shook her head gently, admitting she preferred more comfortable styles. Feeling a little self-conscious, Shimizu apologized for dragging him out here. Daiki reassured her it was fine. He hadn't had any plans anyway. Then, Daiki noticed something and commented, half smiling, that she was wearing pants today. Shimizu nodded and explained that she only wore skirts because of the school uniform. Do you not like skirts? He asked. It's not that, she replied, hesitating slightly. I guess I just prefer a more modest look. That's the kind of style you like too, right? Daiki looked puzzled. Huh? Did I ever say something like that? Shimizu's eyes widened. No. Never mind, forget I said anything. At that moment, AI showed up with a cute frilly skirt and a top in hand. Try this on. I bet it'll look great on you. Shimizu frowned, flustered. That kind of stuff doesn't really suit me. Daiki turned to look at Shimizu again, remembering something Shunya had told him before, about the feeling of liking someone but not being able to take the next step. And suddenly it clicked. He understood now. Calling out to her, Daiki said gently, sometimes changing your style can be nice. A little shift in pace, you know? Shimizu looked at him for a second and gave a small nod. I see. AI returned a moment later with a more modest outfit. What about this one? Daiki smiled. It suits her really well. AI smirked at her sister. Oh, he just complimented you. That settles it, this is the one we're buying. As AI kept chatting with Daiki about other outfits, Shimizu grew increasingly irritated. Finally, she grabbed the new clothes and stormed off toward the changing room without a word. Daiki and AI waited for her to come out. Minutes ticked by. 10 passed. A light sweat formed on their brows. Come on, it shouldn't take this long, AI called. What's wrong? Is it something revealing? Or are you just too scared to compete with your older sister? From inside the stall, Shimizu's voice came out flustered. It's not that. I'm just not used to wearing this kind of stuff. AI had heard enough. She yanked the curtain open. There stood Shimizu, dressed in a form-fitting outfit that accentuated her figure without going over the top. Daiki's eyes widened, stunned. She looked completely different, but still very much like herself. AI clapped her hands with satisfaction. See? It brings out all your good qualities. Nice choice. Blushing hard, Shimizu turned to Daiki. It doesn't look weird, right? Daiki blinked, then spoke quietly but clearly. No, that dress really suits you. You look beautiful. Her face turned bright red. She covered her cheeks and turned away. I think it's cute. And lovely, Daiki added honestly. Unable to take the compliments, Shimizu muttered something and rushed back inside to change. Later, the three of them walked together through the mall. Shimizu now held a shopping bag with the dress inside. Daiki glanced at it, wondering when, or if, he'd ever get to see her wear it again. I just bought it for the change of pace, Shimizu said quickly, avoiding his gaze. Don't get the wrong idea. Her sister gave a teasing grin. You're so not honest with yourself. Daiki simply said, if you liked it and bought it, then that's what matters. As they continued walking, Daiki thought back to how she looked in that dress, and found himself wanting to see her like that again. Shimizu caught his gaze and asked, What's wrong? And nothing, he said quickly, turning away. So, where are we headed next? AI asked enthusiastically. We're still going? Shimizu said, surprised. Daiki smiled to himself. He hadn't planned to be here, and yet he'd gotten swept along with them. And surprisingly, it was fun. His days felt more lively lately, and it was all thanks to Shimizu. As they decided to head toward the arcade next, Daiki glanced at her and thought, maybe something is starting to change for me too. Hey, don't forget to like, subscribe and share this video with your friends, and also with your calculator, your fridge, your grandma's smart TV, whatever's connected to Wi-Fi. Help me hit 1,000 subs. At the arcade, Shimizu tried her luck at a claw machine, aiming for a small bear plushie, but it slipped just before reaching the prize chute. Daiki, standing nearby, asked if she liked that kind of bear. Shimizu quickly denied it, claiming she had only just noticed it. But inside, her thoughts told a different story. The bear reminded her of Daiki, maybe that's why she wanted it so badly. Just then AI appeared and dragged them toward another part of the arcade, insisting they all play some games. Though Shimizu had missed her chance at the bear, Daiki noticed her disappointment and quietly asked if she was okay with it. She brushed it off, saying it wasn't a big deal. The trio began a game of carom, with AI taking on both Daiki and Shimizu by herself. Confident as ever, AI declared that she could handle them alone. As the match heated up and AI started falling behind, she grinned mischievously. Time for my strategy, she announced, and then dramatically pointed and yelled, Look over there. It didn't work. Daiki suggested they switch to one-on-one matches, but AI had another trick up her sleeve. She began aggressively striking the carom pieces toward the center, right where Shimizu and Daiki's hands would meet. Shimizu was caught off guard by how close they were suddenly sitting, her concentration slipping as she blushed deeply. Then AI raised the stakes. The loser would have to obey the winner's orders. At first, both Shimizu and Daiki refused, but AI used her usual playful pressure to make them agree. After an intense match, Daiki and Shimizu lost. AI clapped in victory and smugly announced her command. Shimizu, trying to spare Daiki from getting dragged along, offered to take full responsibility for the loss. AI grinned wider. Then you'll follow 2 orders. She led them to the Purikura photo booth and declared the first order, cosplay. The second, take pictures. Shimizu hesitantly asked if she could choose her own outfit, but AI firmly said no. Then she whisked her sister away to get changed while Daiki waited. In the changing room, Shimizu stared at the outfit AI had handed her, a maid costume. Her thoughts raced in panic. Do I really have to wear this? If it was just AI maybe, but Daiki's here too? That last outfit was embarrassing enough. Despite her nerves, Shimizu changed and stepped out, blushing furiously in the frilly maid dress. Her heart pounded as she looked at Daiki, worried what he might think. But to her surprise, he smiled and said gently that it really suited her. She blushed even harder, turning her face away. AI excitedly prompted them to take pictures. She and Shimizu posed together first. Then she asked Daiki if he'd take some photos too. He nodded, and just as the three were about to begin, AI's phone rang. She excused herself, leaving Daiki and Shimizu alone. The two quietly took a few pictures together. When AI returned, she looked at the images and smirked. "You've gotten pretty bold, haven't you?" she teased Shimizu, who turned red again. While AI decorated the photos with stickers and doodles, Daiki pulled something from his bag and handed it to Shimizu. It was the teddy bear from earlier, the one she had failed to win. Stunned, Shimizu asked how he managed to get it. He told her, almost sheepishly, "While you and AI were changing, I went back and tried again." She was genuinely touched. "How many tries did it take?" "I'll pay you back." But Daiki shook his head. "Don't worry about it. It's a gift." Shimizu accepted the bear with a flustered smile, holding it tightly as warmth spread in her chest. Later, as the sun began to set and the three of them left the mall, Shimizu cradled the bear gently in her arms. She silently promised herself that she'd take great care of it. AI teased again, "Looks like you got a present, huh?" Then she handed her sister something else. One of the photos from earlier, the one of Shimizu and Daiki together. Looking at it, Shimizu thought to herself, "I thought I was just being dragged around by AI, but somehow today became a memory I'll never forget." If you enjoyed diving into this manga with me, don't forget to smash that like button. It helps more than you know. After some time, we see Daiki and Shimizu sitting together in a train. The atmosphere is calm, the sound of the tracks softly echoing around them. Shimizu looks at him and says, "Didn't expect that we'd also be going home together." Daiki replies, "I didn't expect our houses to be close to each other." Shimizu says, "And then there's AI. She went on and on and on and goes off to who knows where on her own." Daiki responds, "Gone like lightning, isn't she?" Shimizu says with her eyes closed, "Even though she was the one who dragged me out today." Daiki says, "Really?" Shimizu responds, "Always the pushy type, that girl." Daiki looks at her and says with a smile, "But the way I see it, I think she's a good sister." Shimizu looks at him with astonishment and thinks with a worried expression, "Ugh. Now he's just blabbering off about AI? I have to say something?" Then she says to Daiki, "You should see AI at home." Daiki responds, "I shouldn't be judging someone in their own home, no?" Shimizu says, "Before an exam, she wouldn't shut up about not understanding a single thing." Daiki replies, "So she's the type to study hard before an exam, huh?" Shimizu thinks no matter what I say, he keeps on complimenting her. Well, Hondo is the kind of guy who wouldn't badmouth anyone. Then Daiki says, "The both of you are just like two peas in a pod. Likewise, you two have a lot of good points, Shimizu-san." Shimizu's mouth opens and she says, "Huh?" Daiki continues, "You took the initiative to help out the others in cooking class. You practiced bento making with all your might. You're also a good listener, and then..." Shimizu blushes and says, Alright, already, I get it. Enough with the glazing." Daiki says, I'm sorry?" Then the train speakers announce, "Please make sure that you have all your belongings with you when you leave the train." Shimizu says blushingly, Come on, we gotta go." After some time, they are standing outside the station looking at the rain. Daiki asks, "Shimizu-san, do you have your umbrella with you?" She replies, "Nah." Daiki says, "Wanna borrow mine?" She replies, "I don't want to bother you." Daiki says, "Wait, then how are you gone?" She interrupts him and says, "Chill, you don't have to worry. I'll just call my folks." Daiki says, Okay, if you say so." She says, "Yup, so go on already." Daiki says, "I'll see you again at school then." Shimizu waves him goodbye. After he's gone, she looks at the rainy sky with the teddy bear in her hands and thinks, "What now? I didn't want him to worry, so I told him I'd be fine, but my parents won't be back until evening, and AI, she said she had something to take care of. Wonder if I should just book it?" Then she looks at the teddy with sad eyes and thinks, "If only I had brought my umbrella, I wouldn't have to worry about getting wet. I could have spent a little more time with Hondo. The look he gave me when I wore that dress. I've never seen him like that before." She looks at the shopping bag and thinks, "That's why I want to treasure it. Even this plushie, he went out of his way to give it to me. I don't want it to." Right then, Shimizu-san. She freezes. Why did I just hear his? She looks in front and Daiki is there. She asks panicked, "What are you doing here?" He replies, "I had a feeling you hadn't left." Then she panics and blushes. Daiki asks, "Hey Shimizu-san, if you don't mind, wanna go home together?" Next we see both of them under the same umbrella. Shimizu thinks, a lover's umbrella? I feel like my heart's gonna split in two. Daiki says, Shimizu-san. She asks blushingly. Wow, what is it? He replies, I'm sorry about this. If only the convenience store didn't run out of umbrellas. She says, don't worry about it. Rather, I'm glad you didn't have to use your money. She remains silent and thinks I can't keep the conversation going. Then she looks at him, comes closer and says, Hey Scooch. He asks, why? She replies, your shoulder's gonna get wet, you know? I don't want you to catch a cold from sharing your umbrella with me. Daiki agrees and comes closer. Shimizu blushes even more as he gets closer. Daiki says, just as I thought, Shimizu-san sure is a kind person. She replies, pretty rich coming from the guy who came all the way back to the station for someone who may or may not be there anymore. He says, I'm just trying to make sure I don't have anything to regret, that's all. Shimizu thinks, you've said something like that before, haven't you? Then she says, what do you mean by that? Daiki looks ahead, his voice turning a little more serious as the rain softly falls around them. He replies, I did something I regretted in the past, and so I decided I didn't want any more regrets. Shimizu blinks then asks, did something happen? Daiki nods slightly and begins. When I was little, I was friends with a kid named Yukuen. His eyes soften as if the memory is playing right in front of him. I didn't know where he was from, but he was always at the park, and we became friends as we played together. I never got tired of playing with him every day. The rain continues tapping against the umbrella. But after a year, some older kids came to the park. His tone lowers. And they destroyed our sandcastle. Shimizu listens quietly. They asked what we were going to do next. He pauses. But Yukuen didn't say anything. A small sigh escapes him. I thought, if Yukuen thinks we should just let them be, then I should too. So I ignored them. His grip on the umbrella tightens slightly. But I was wrong. A heavier silence settles in. Yukuen never came back to the park after that. No matter how many times I went, I never saw him again. Shimizu's expression softens. I really regretted it. Back then, and even now, I'd probably still be hanging out with Yukuen if I had just spoken up. His voice grows quieter. I shouldn't have assumed how he felt. I should have properly asked him first. Someone I considered my precious friend, and I couldn't protect them. The rain feels colder now. And ever since then I've decided, I didn't want to live with any regrets anymore. Shimizu lowers her gaze, her voice gentler than before. I'm sure it was a memory you didn't want to remember? Daiki shakes his head. That's not true. I'm happy to be reminded of all the fun times I had with Yukuen. She looks at him carefully. Are you sure you're not forcing yourself? He smiles faintly. It's okay. Because right now, I'm feeling happy. She tilts her head slightly. About what? He looks straight at her. Because Shimizu-san has taken an interest in me. Her heart skips. She panics, nearly stumbling. Daiki quickly says, Please don't move so suddenly, Shimizu-san. She flusteredly replies, It's because you said something weird, you know? Daiki scratches his cheek. You barely ever ask anything about me, so when you finally did, it made me happy. I couldn't help but feel like we're getting a little bit closer. Shimizu hesitates, then asks, You're happy to be friends with someone like me? Daiki answers without hesitation. Of course I'm happy. She frowns, embarrassed. What the hell's up with that? Daiki smiles warmly. Because being together with you is so much fun. Shimizu's face turns bright red. Her thoughts spiral wildly. Hearing him say that, why does it make me feel like this? She quickly looks away and says, It's nothing. It's not like I've said anything funny anyways. Daiki chuckles softly. Even now, I'm still having fun. She mutters while looking away. Is that so? But inside, he thinks I'm fun to be with, and he even pays attention to me. I don't get it. She exhales and says, You're one hell of an oddball. They continue walking in silence under the umbrella. But Shimizu's thoughts are anything but quiet. This isn't good. I don't know what else to say. I'm all over the place, but Hondo's out here acting like it's nothing. Is he not even aware of me? Do I not have any womanly charm? Maybe I should try being more feminine? Wait. This is Hondo we're talking about. What I'm worried about and what's in his head are like night and day. Then, Daiki suddenly asks, Shimizu-san, aren't you nervous? She flinches. What's up with you all of a sudden? He looks a bit shy. You see, I'm feeling a bit nervous right now. It's my first time sharing an umbrella. She blinks. Is that so? This kind of stuff is nothing. Daiki smiles awkwardly. Not really, being able to be this close to someone makes my heart flutter. Her brain completely short-circuits. Is that so? But inside, heart flutter? Meaning he's aware of me? That's gotta be the case, right? Then Daiki asks, what about you, Shimizu-san? She freezes. Crap. I can't think straight anymore. Suddenly, looks like the rain stopped. She dashes forward, escaping. Her face burning red as she runs. What the hell are you running for, idiot? But this is just the beginning. You won't believe what happens next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next part. It's about to get insane. See you in the next recap. Post-date aftermath. Shimizu is sitting on her bed, holding the teddy tightly in her hands. Her face is slightly flushed as her thoughts spiral out of control. We shared a lover's umbrella. There's the part where he said being together is fun. Then him feeling all nervous and stuff. I had a feeling that he's a bit more aware of me now, but he didn't mean anything by it at all. It is Hondo after all. Maybe I should have tried being more direct with him, but I ran away. Suddenly, she punches her pillow and shouts, Hondo, you idiot. You had your chance to get closer and you blew it. Then she buries her face, thinking, how am I supposed to face him tomorrow? The more I spend time with you, the more I end up getting lost in my own thoughts. Next day, classroom. Daiki sits at his desk, staring blankly ahead. What an eventful day off. Shunya snaps him out of it. Earth to Daiki, you awake? Shunya. Daiki mutters. Shunya squints at him. What's up with you? Been dozing off. Daiki replies. I was just remembering something from yesterday. I met up with Shimizu-san. Shunya instantly reacts. With Shimizu-san? Date? Daiki calmly says. Her sister was there too, you know? Shunya's eyes widen. AI-san too? Daiki nods. Shunya, you seem to know about AI-san. Shunya sighs dramatically. Are you for real right now? Shimizu-san's older sister is the student council vice president, and she's cute to boot. Together with Shimizu-san, those sisters are famous. So, what's up with those two? Daiki replies. We went shopping and talked about this and that. But inside, it makes my heart flutter. Up until now, I've never felt like that before. Shunya waves his hand in front of him again. Ground control to Major Daiki, you're dozing off again. Suddenly, the classroom door slides open. It's AI. Daiki looks up. What's wrong? She looks worried. Have you seen Kei? She's not here, is she? Daiki thinks for a moment. No, I think she went somewhere as soon as lunch break started. AI clicks her tongue. I knew it. Remember how I told you that ever since Kei dyed her hair black, she started getting a lot of attention, right? Just now, I heard some shady guy is trying to make a move on her. A girl nearby adds. Now that she mentioned it, I think I saw Shimizu-san walking off with some guy. Before anyone can react, Daiki places a hand on his chest and dashes out. I'm gonna look for her. Behind the school, Shimizu stands facing a handsome guy. Her expression is already annoyed. Just when I got in a good mood after spending time with Hondo, the guy smirks. Alright, no one's going to disturb us here. Shimizu crosses her arms. What do you want? He leans in. Come on, you really don't know? She sighs internally. If I ignore him now, he's just gonna be more annoying. Then she says coldly, just get on with it. He grins. Won't you go out with me? Shimizu's eyes narrow. This is exactly why I dyed my hair. She asked. Let me ask you this, what made you want to go out with me? He shrugs. Well, you see, ever since you dyed your hair black, you've been one hell of a looker. Her expression hardens. I wanted Hondo to like me even slightly, so I dyed my hair back to black. Maybe I am an idiot, but thanks to it, a lot of good things happened. So that's why I'll continue being the way I am. Then, I refuse. The guy freezes. Huh. Shimizu continues. First of all, I don't know your name and we've never even talked before. Like hell I go out with someone like that. If looks are all you care about, then there are plenty of good-looking fish in the sea. The guy's expression darkens. Wait, are you mad at me? Let's calm down a bit, okay? Chill. Shimizu doesn't budge. I am calm. And the answer is I refuse. He tries again. I mean, sure we don't know much about each other, but who says we can't get a head start while we're going out, huh? Shimizu scoffs. First you get to know one another and then you slowly start to like each other. Then one of you confesses. Isn't this how it usually is before people date? The guy clicks his tongue. Hey, you're actually even more of a bitch than I thought. Wow. But he cuts her off. You sure I can't Change your mind? She glares. There's just no way in hell I'll ever fall for you. So no, I'll never go out with you. He exhales sharply. Yikes. Then how about we start as friends, cool? Shimizu rolls her eyes. How persistent. I'm not interested in a friend with ulterior motives. So if there's nothing else, I'm going back. Now he snaps. I'm putting my feelings out here and this is how you act. Think you're some kind of hotshot? Shimizu clenches her fists. I knew this was going to happen. Back in middle school, Hondo came and intervened. He didn't even know my name, but he still came to help. The guy steps closer. She tenses. To think that this would happen for a second time. Wait. Both of them turn. Daiki stands there breathing heavily. Shimizu's eyes widen, her cheeks turning red. Why? Out of all people, does it always have to be you? Daiki raises a hand politely. Apologies. A moment of your time if you will. Shimizu snaps. Why are you even here? The guy frowns. The hell are you? We were in the middle of something here, you know? Daiki straightens up. My apologies, allow me to introduce myself. My name is Hondo Daiki, a second year. Shimizu stares. He's actually introducing himself, just like last time? The guy smirks, clearly amused. Why, that's very kind of you, dear junior. With that aside, what brings you here? Daiki answers calmly. I was looking for Shimizu-san. The guy chuckles. Well, it seems like you already found her, no? You see, me and her are still in the middle of a conversation, so you can hurry back now. Before Daiki can respond, Shimizu cuts in sharply. As if, we're done here. The guy clicks his tongue. Just a little bit more time talking and I bet you'll change your mind. Shimizu glares at him. Someone who only cares about looks like you is entirely out of the question. That hits a nerve. The guy's expression darkens. Even though I went out of my way to ask you out, that attitude of yours is just unbearable. Besides that face of yours, you don't really have any good points, do you? Don't get carried away because of just that and start acting all picky. A heavy silence falls. Then, Daiki steps forward slightly. He looks at Shimizu, then back at the guy. Enlighten me. What you said about Shimizu-san not having any good points other than her face. Please do enlighten me. The guy scoffs. It's the truth though. Daiki immediately shuts that down. Nope, it's just senpai who doesn't know anything. His voice is calm but firm. When I thought I was having trouble on my own, Shimizu-san was very considerate and helped me out. The other day I had trouble buying lunch, so she shared her lunch with me. She's such a good listener, every conversation I have with her is a blast. Even just being together, it's... Shimizu's face turns completely red. She panics and shouts, Oh, I get it. That's enough. But Daiki doesn't stop. I'm not done yet. Because Shimizu-san still has so much more good points about her. You're right about one thing, senpai, she does have good looks, but that's only one out of so many good things about her. That's it. Shimizu quickly steps forward and covers his mouth with her hand. I told you that's enough already. The guy narrows his eyes. What's your relationship with her? Daiki hesitates for a split second. Then, Shimizu-san she's someone special to me. Time freezes. Shimizu's heart skips violently. Her face burns bright red. But Daiki continues, completely serious. She's kind, but her clumsiness makes her easily misunderstood. She looks cool but has a cute side to her. She gets so focused when playing games, it's just fun to see her try her best. I just can't seem to take my eyes off her. To me, Shimizu-san is that kind of person. Shimizu completely breaks. WWW what? Inside she's spiraling. He says the most outrageous things. My heart genuinely can't handle this guy. He always comes to my rescue. The guy exhales in frustration. I quit. I'm going back to class. And just like that, he leaves, walking back to class. The tension lingers as Daiki and Shimizu walk side by side. Daiki scratches his cheek awkwardly, thinking. I blurted out, someone special, in a hurry, Shimizu-san. I hope she's not mad. I enjoy being with her. I want to spend more time with her. A friend that you consider special. That's a thing, right? Shimizu suddenly speaks. Look, I know you saved me, but you really can't go rushing in like that. Someday you'll end up suffering the consequences, you know? Daiki tilts his head. I feel like I've heard that from someone before. He pauses. Wasn't it? Then he asks. Shimizu-san, have we perhaps met back in middle school? Shimizu stops. Her face turns red again. You're slow. Daiki blinks. I would have appreciated it if you said something, you know? This whole time I didn't notice because you dyed your hair blonde. Shimizu crosses her arms. I dyed my hair because I didn't want people coming up to me just for my looks. Daiki nods. That's why. Wait, then why did you dye it back to black? Shimizu freezes. Well, that doesn't matter now. She looks away flustered. Then more softly. Back then and even just now, you came to my rescue. Couldn't say this before but, well, how do I put this? Thank you. Daiki's heart skips. His face turns red. Before he can even respond, Shimizu suddenly dashes off toward the classroom, leaving him standing there, frozen, heart pounding. Night, Shimizu's room. Shimizu lies on her bed, hugging the teddy tightly. Her face is slightly red as her thoughts drift back to Daiki. She looks at the teddy and mutters, "Tell me, what did he mean by that? He probably means as friends, right? If I'll get an answer from you." Suddenly, she notices someone at the door. AI is standing there, frozen, listening. AI quickly says, "I didn't hear anything." Shimizu immediately panics. Forget about it." AI waves her hands. "It's okay. Calm down. Don't worry. Daiki-kun is definitely interested. He searched all over for you." Shimizu looks away. "He's like that with everyone." AI shakes her head. "That's not true." "Well, yeah. I'll pitch in and help out again." Shimizu narrows her eyes. "What are you gonna do?" AI grins mischievously. Hee. "It's a secret for now, don't be arrogant." Shimizu sighs. "You don't really have to do anything." AI leans closer. Really? So you're okay with another girl stealing Daiki-kun? Shimizu flinches. Ugh. AI continues teasing. "He's kind, right? And he has a cute face, doesn't he? Give me a little credit here." Shimizu frowns. "Seriously, you're not gonna be a nuisance, right?" AI smiles confidently. "Don't worry. I'm going to get Yusuke's help too this time." Third-year childhood friend. Shimizu raises a brow. "What are you actually gonna do?" AI turns dramatically. "Stay tuned till tomorrow." Shimizu mutters. "Hey, that's worrying." Next day school. Shunya looks at Daiki. "So that's what happened after you ran off." Daiki scratches his head. "Sorry I worried you." Shunya smiles. "I was surprised when you ran out of the classroom, but I was relieved when you came back unharmed." Daiki looks down, thinking deeply. "Shunya, when Shimizu-san said thank you to me, she looked really cute. I've never felt anything like that before. I mean, I thought other girls were cute before, but that was something different." Shunya closes his eyes. "I see." Daiki leans forward. "Do you understand what that was?" Shunya smirks slightly. "I have a pretty good guess about that." Daiki lights up. "Really?" But Shunya cuts him off. "But it feels like it's not my place to tell you." Daiki frowns. "Why?" Shunya explains calmly. "It's something you need to find out for yourself. You need to think about it, face it, and reach a conclusion on your own. That'll be the best for you." Daiki hesitates. "On my own? Will I understand if I think about it?" Shunya shrugs. "Who knows? Well, you don't have to think that hard about it. Just have fun and go with the flow." Daiki nods. "Okay, I'll take my time and think about it." Shunya grins. "Yep, good luck. Now, let's start our love talk again." Daiki sighs. "You really enjoy this?" Shunya excitedly says. "Today's theme, club activities to do with the girl you like." Daiki thinks. "You're in the soccer club, so maybe a manager girl?" Shunya smiles dreamily. "Yeah. It would be so awesome if Sito-san became my manager. That'd make me play better too." Daiki nods. "You're already really good though." "Thanks, but that'll never happen, really?" "Is that so?" "Sito-san is already in another club." "Oh, which one?" The door suddenly opens. It's AI. "Are you two here? Can I borrow you for a bit?" Daiki hesitates. "Sorry, but I'm talking with Shunya right now." Shunya interrupts. "You should go with her, Daiki. I'm supposed to be on duty in the library in a bit." Daiki nods. "Really? Okay then." Shunya waves. "See you tomorrow. Feel free to ask me for advice anytime." "Yep, see you tomorrow." Clubroom meeting. AI drags them along. "Alright. You won't mind hanging out with me now, right? As long as it doesn't take too long, sure." Shimizu complains. "Why did you have to call me here too?" AI smirks. "That's for you to find out soon. So come with me and find out, you too." They arrive at an empty classroom. AI proudly declares, "We've reached our destination." She turns to a boy inside. I brought them with me, Yusuke. He adjusts his glasses. Tell me, they did consent to being brought here, right? AI nods confidently. Of course. They both consented. Shimizu snaps. You didn't even ask for consent? AI shrugs. I already knew you would. Yusuke steps forward. Okay now, firstly allow me to introduce myself. My name is Sakata Yusuke. I'm currently serving as the student council president in my 3rd year. I'm childhood friends with these sisters. I'm sorry for the suddenness, but thank you for coming. Daiki bows. I'm a 2nd-year student, my name is Hondo Daiki. Nice to meet you. Come take a seat. So, how much did they tell you? Daiki awkwardly replies. They didn't tell me anything. Yusuke sighs. Ha, AI. AI grins. I intend on doing better next time. I doubt you'll ever follow up on that promise. Fine, I'll start from the beginning. He looks at Daiki. What do you think this place is, Hondo-kun? Isn't it an empty classroom? You're not wrong, but, Kei, do you know? Shimizu answers. It's your club room, isn't it? AI claps. Ding ding. Correct answer. This is the Astronomy Enthusiasts Club's room. Daiki blinks. A Astronomy Enthusiasts Club? Never heard of this club. Yusuke continues. Here's the reason I summoned you. I'm recruiting you to this enthusiasts club. Daiki's heart skips. Does this mean I can have club activities with Shimizu-san? That sounds fun. Shimizu crosses her arms and asks. Why are we being recruited? Yusuke calmly explains. 2 reasons. First, to avoid the danger of club disbandment. We currently have 3 members. Among them, me and AI are 3rd-year students. We will have to leave when the 2nd term ends. The minimum member limit for an enthusiast club is 2. So I have to do something or the club will be disbanded. At first, I thought it was inevitable, but... Before he can finish, AI suddenly shouts. I'll never accept that. As long as I breathe, this club will never be disbanded. Yusuke sighs slightly. AI was very enthusiastic about this, and I do have attachments to the club as well, so I wanted to survive. Daiki raises his hand. What's the 2nd reason? AI jumps in excitedly. About that, I want to hold an astronomical viewing on the school's roof. Both Daiki and Shimizu react. Huh? What? Yusuke rubs his forehead. You left out way too much. They won't understand like this. AI grins. You're about to give them a better explanation, so thanks. Yusuke sighs. Good grief. Yeah, our final goal is indeed to hold an astronomical viewing. Shimizu tilts her head. Can't you do that anyway? Yusuke shakes his head. It's not so simple. We need permission to use the roof. Daiki asks. And you can't get it? Yusuke replies. Unfortunately, they do not give permission to individuals or enthusiasts clubs. Shimizu shrugs. So you just gotta give up, right? Yusuke smiles slightly. This is where the recruitment comes in. Even if it's not possible for an enthusiast club, we might get permission for official club activities instead. It depends on the presence of an advisor managing us. Daiki connects the dots. So it can count as a club activity if you have enough members? Yusuke nods. It goes deeper than that, but yes. First, we need more than 5 members. Daiki thinks quietly. I think club activities are cool, but still, I have to make dinner on weekdays, which is why I've been in the going home club so far. AI notices. What's wrong, Daiki-kun? Daiki replies. I can't stay at school too long on weekdays. Yusuke reassures him. That won't be a problem. It's not as if we have precise activity hours. You can come and leave at any hour you want. Daiki smiles. Then I think it'll be okay. What a relief. Shimizu looks at him in disbelief. Hey, are you just gonna say yes that easily? What does this enthusiast club even do really? AI proudly explains. This is where we talk about things that did or did not happen. It's a place of relaxation where you talk about interesting and funny things with club members. It's our time Shangri-La. Shimizu deadpans. That's just a conversation club. AI shrugs. I guess you could call it that? Shimizu looks at Daiki, slightly flustered. Whatever. I'm not joining. AI immediately snaps. What a bitch, K. Hear me out. Shimizu frowns. Seriously? Don't waste your time trying to convince me. Outside the room. AI drags Shimizu outside. Come on. We'll just have a little talk. Inside, Daiki watches them leave. I guess I'm the only one joining the club. Outside. AI grabs Shimizu's shoulders. Can't you see that this is your chance to get closer to him? Shimizu looks away. It's just an astronomical viewing, isn't it? But inside. I want to join the same club. But I can't even look him in the eyes after he said I was important to him. AI smirks. Hee, I have some pretty good intel in my hands, K. Shimizu narrows her eyes. Source. AI proudly says, friend's friend's sister. Shimizu instantly fires back. That's pretty much a complete stranger. AI grabs her again. I have more. What? AI leans in dramatically. The third member of this enthusiast club is a second-year girl. Daiki-kun is probably gonna join the club, right? And we'll leave in our second term. Which means that girl and Daiki-kun will be all alone together. That hits hard. Shimizu freezes, then grabs her head in panic. AI presses further. Why are you still thinking? There's only one option. Shimizu looks conflicted. It's been so awkward all day because of that weird thing he said. AI softens a bit. I see, so that's why, but you just gotta get through that. Or you'll regret it. I'll help out too. Back in the club room. They walk back in. Yusuke looks up. It seems like Hondo-kun will be joining us. AI beams. Thanks, Daiki-kun. Let's have fun. Daiki nods. Yep. Yusuke turns to Shimizu. So what about you? AI leans forward eagerly. Please say it, K-san. Shimizu hesitates. Daiki watches her. Is she having a hard time saying no? She's here after I already joined, so... He gently says, I think you should join the club you want to join the most. If you aren't into this, then... Shimizu suddenly reacts. No. Daiki looks down. It's a shame that I won't be in the same club as Shimizu-san, but... Then... Shimizu takes a breath. That's not it, She clenches her fists. I have decided. I will also join the Astronomy Enthusiasts Club. Daiki's face lights up. Our club activities are gonna be so fun, Shimizu-san. She blushes and looks away. Yeah. Daiki smiles. I'm so happy I'll get to do club activities with her. AI cheers. What a relief. The other girl is pretty shy, so she said she'll only join if you two join too. Shimizu tilts her head. Do we know her? The door slides open. AI turns excitedly. Oh, just in time. She gestures dramatically. These two are our new members. I think you know them, but I'll introduce them anyway. This is Kei and Daiki-kun. And this is Sito Mio-chan. Our cool and cute junior. Daiki recognizes the girl immediately. It's Sato-san. His mind begins to race. He knows she is the one Shunya has feelings for. Sato confirms with a nod. Sensing the connection, AI turns to Daiki. You know her? You are probably classmates, aren't you? Yes, Daiki replies simply. AI's face lights up with a mischievous energy. Oh, since we got everyone gathered, let's do something. Shimizu, however, is already gathering her things. I'm going home now. AI pouts. What already? I'm sure Daiki-kun wants to spend some time with you, right? Daiki doesn't hesitate. Yes. Shimizu catches his eye and a deep blush creeps across her face. Despite the reaction, she makes her way toward the door. I'll be coming here from tomorrow after all, so it's fine. Later. As the door closes, AI sighs. And she's gone. Sato looks uncertain, glancing at the empty doorway. Did I do something? No, AI assures her. I think she would have gone had you come or not. Daiki nods in agreement to ease Sato's mind. Yeah, don't worry. AI quickly pivots back to their responsibilities. We'll be going to the student council room. Where else? We put off the work, they're coming here. She glances at the group, adding with a grin, that's right, we can be setting a bad example for our junior. See you later. They exit with a sharp slam of the door, leaving an abrupt silence in the room. Now only Sato and Daiki remain. Sato breaks the quiet. And they are gone too. They are pretty busy, Daiki replies. A heavy, awkward silence settles between them. Daiki shifts uncomfortably, wondering, should I go home? Just as he considers leaving, Sato speaks up. Hondo-kun. How what? Sato looks at him earnestly. Do you have a minute? I need some advice. Advice from me? Daiki asks, surprised. AI-senpai said you are a good person, Sato explains. Daiki rubs the back of his neck, humbled. You say I don't really know whether I am, but I'll listen if something's bothering you. Thanks, Sato says softly. She takes a breath and dives in. Then I'll start with talking about the person I'm interested in. Okay, Daiki says, but his composure doesn't last long. Are you alright, Hondo-kun? Sato asks. Daiki is visibly shivering. Sorry, I was surprised, he stammers, thinking, How can you bring up such a topic just like that, Sato-san? Asterisk. Sato realizes her bluntness. Oh, sorry, but I'll keep the name a secret. Okay, Daiki agrees. Sato begins to describe him. He's taller than me. Yes, Daiki replies, noting to himself that she's laying out his characteristics. He's a library assistant like me, she continues. Library assistants, Daiki thinks. Immediately, an image of Shunya flashes into his mind. We're classmates since last year, Sato adds. The pieces click together perfectly. Library assistant, classmate, tall. Daiki holds up a hand. Wait a moment, Sato-san. What is it? Is the person you're talking about in the football club? Sato's eyes widen. Are you a mind reader? It's definitely him, Daiki thinks. Aloud he says, you have told me enough to know who it is. Sato chuckles. You should be a detective, Hondo-kun. Then there's no point in hiding it anymore. Daiki watches her, thinking, asterisk, she might be a natural airhead. Asterisk. Yes, I'm interested in Matsuoka-kun, Sato finally admits. Daiki's mind whirs. Asterisk, I was wondering if Shunya's feelings were one-sided, but wait, she said she's interested, not that she has a crush. Asterisk. Sato reminisces, I started when we both were library assistants last year. At first I only gave short answers when he talked to me, but he talked to me often. Okay, Daiki prompts. Soon we started talking regularly and now we're both still library assistants. Talking with him became fun. She pauses, looking at him with genuine confusion. Hondo-kun, do you think I have a crush on Matsuoka-kun? Daiki is momentarily speechless. Asterisk, does she have a crush? Her situation sounds similar to mine. I'm also not sure what this feeling is. Asterisk. He chooses his words carefully. Sorry, I can't say for sure, I'm not experienced in love myself, however either way it doesn't change the fact that they are important to you. I think you should carefully think about it. At least that's what a friend told me. Sato reflects on his words. You say, Hondo-kun. What? Would you be willing to continue this conversation with me? Daiki smiles. If you don't mind that it's me, then any time. He thinks of his friend Shunya, but he also sees how troubled Sato is. He wants to support her. The next day, Daiki enters the classroom and finds Sato-san sitting at her desk. Nearby, Shimizu-san is slumped over, appearing to be fast asleep. Is Shimizu-san sleeping? Daiki asks. Yes, she was already sleeping when I came, Sato whispers. I see, Daiki replies. He takes his seat. Where are Ai-san and Yusuke-san? Sato replies they said they got stuff to do, they'll be late, Sato explains. All right, what do you want to do until they come? Sato reaches into her bag and pulls out a book. This. Daiki looks at the cover. This is a hairstyle catalog. I studied yesterday when I came home, Sato says seriously. Study? Today's topic is hairstyle preference. As they talk, Shimizu's head remains down, but she isn't sleeping. She is listening to every word. Hairstyle, Daiki repeats. Yes, I want to know what hairstyle would make a guy's heart flutter, Sato explains. That depends on the person, Daiki replies. He thinks to himself, asterisk, I want to say Shunya likes her with any hairstyle, but I probably shouldn't be so direct. Asterisk. Sato leans in. For reference, what are your preference? I say I like long hair. What style? Style I don't really know, Daiki admits. Check the catalog, Sato insists. Right. Daiki flips through the pages until a certain look catches his eye. Oh, this one looks good. Which one? Give me a moment. Is this it? Sato quickly gathers her hair, mimicking the photo. Is this it? You're actually trying it? Daiki says, impressed. Sato flashes a peace sign. How is it? I think it's all right. Okay, so Hondo likes half-up style, Sato notes. So it's called half-up, this hairstyle? Daiki says, learning something new. Sato begins to experiment again. Let's see, with my length a ponytail might be hard. How about this? My sister often does this. She twists her hair into a new arrangement. When it comes to preference, the previous one might have been better, Daiki says honestly. Sato looks him in the eye. Would your heart pound if you saw a girl with half-up style? Yeah, I don't know, Daiki stammers. He tries to explain his logic. I wouldn't have enough energy in the morning to style my hair. That by itself makes me think the person puts in a lot of effort. Sato looks at him and a little smirk plays on her lips. You really are a nice person. Huh. Daiki feels his heart flutter, not the same way it does for Shimizu, but a flutter nonetheless. Shunya interrupts the moment. They're really going to be late. I'll go check on them. Okay, Daiki says. The following morning, Daiki scans the room. Asterisk, where is Shimizu-san? Did she used to come late often? But recently she's been coming to school before me. Has something happened? Asterisk. Suddenly the door swings open. Shimizu-san arrives, but something is different. She is wearing a brand new hairstyle. Daiki stares, his face heating up. Good morning, Shimizu-san. Hi, she says softly. You change your hairstyle, Daiki notes. Yes. She takes her seat beside him, her face turning pink. It doesn't suit me, does it? Of course it does, it suits you and you look really cute. Daiki shouts, unable to contain his reaction. Shimizu's blush deepens. I see. Daiki is overwhelmed. Asterisk, she's beautiful. I can't say a word of what I was able to say before. Asterisk, he sits there worried and blushing, thinking, asterisk, something seems odd about her recently. She only changed her hairstyle, but I can't speak. Am I stressed? Asterisk. Hey Hondo, Shimizu says. What? I might be acting a little strange, but don't hesitate to tell me if something's weird. Daiki takes a breath and decides to be honest. That's not it, it's just when I saw your new hairstyle I felt a sort of unusual atmosphere and my heart just skipped a beat. Shimizu's face turns bright red. What? She shouts. And the cat caught my tongue, Shimizu-sen, Daiki adds, feeling the embarrassment himself. Shimizu covers her face with her hands. After a moment, she turns away to hide her expression. I sometimes change my hairstyle, you don't have to. Yeah, getting up early is a pain. I see, Daiki says. As the day begins, Shimizu thinks to herself, asterisk, I'll leave styling my hair as an ace up my sleeve. Asterisk. But this is just the beginning. You won't believe what happens next. Hit subscribe so you don't miss the next part, it's about to get insane. The chapter opens with a heavy atmosphere of emotion, not from conflict, but from a shared experience. Daiki and his sister are both in tears, moved by the finale of a great anime. It really was, his sister chokes out, specifically touched by the 21-gram difference. Inspired, Daiki admits he wants to recommend it to his friends just so he has someone to discuss it with. When his sister suggests his club mates, Daiki hesitates. Privately, he thinks of Shunya first, but the idea of hearing the whole club's perspective is tempting. His sister pouts slightly, noting, lately you've been talking about your club quite a bit. Daiki beams, explaining that everyone has been so welcoming to him as a new member. In the club room, a conversation on romance. Later, in the astronomy club room, the atmosphere is more playful. Sato leans in with a curious question. Panda-kan, is there something you want to do with your crush? As Daiki ponders the idea of a hobby to share with a crush, we see Shimizu nearby. Though she's lying down and pretending to be asleep, her ears are pinned to their conversation. Shunya asks for Daiki's take and he suggests, maybe watching anime together. He mentions the really moving romance he saw with his sister, the 21-gram difference, thinking it would be a perfect bridge to talk with a crush. Before the conversation can go further, AI bursts into the room with her signature energy. Hey everyone, how you all doing? She chirps. Yusuke follows, scolding her lack of formality. Can't you at least try to be more proper to AI-san? The big announcements. AI calls the meeting to order, forcing a sleeping Shimizu to sit up. What do you want? I was sleeping, Shimizu grumbles, though her secret eavesdropping remains undetected. AI delivers two major updates. Official status. The Astronomy Enthusiast Group is now officially the Astronomy Club. While AI takes the credit, she admits Yusuke did most of the legwork. The catch, their advisor is Yuasa-sensei, Daiki and Shimizu's homeroom teacher, who apparently cried tears of happiness when he heard Shimizu joined. Most importantly, while they have permission to use the roof for stargazing, there is a strict academic condition. Specifically, all members must score within the top 40, Yusuke explains. That's a bit tough. We are a new club after all, so we have to prove ourselves. Daiki feels the pressure immediately. Top 40 is a tall order and his confidence wavers. Study sessions and swollen eyes. The following day, the club room transforms into a study hall. AI is the first to crack, moaning, I can't do it anymore. Daiki, however, is distracted by something else. He notices Shimizu's eyes look swollen as if she's been crying. Worried he might be digging up a sad memory, he tentatively asks if she's okay. To his surprise, AI starts laughing while Shimizu blushes furiously. I saw the 21-gram difference, that's why, Shimizu admits. The shared interest sparks a flame of excitement in Daiki. Oh, you've seen it too? Me too. AI reveals she and Shimizu, Watched it yesterday and Shimizu had started suddenly sobbing. The talk turns to the anime's confession scene. AI swoons over the idea of a confession under a starry sky, while a flustered Shimizu tries to play it cool. When AI tries to drag Daiki into the love talk, Yusuke shuts it down. That's enough, everybody study. The competitive edge. A week later, motivation is hitting an all-time low. AI demands a reward for her hard work. Yusuke sighs and strikes a deal. You'll get a prize if you score 30 points above the student council targets. I'll do whatever you want. Sensing an opportunity to liven things up, AI expands the stakes. She offers a wish to whoever gets the highest score in the club. Sato wants limited edition dorayaki. Shimizu claims she wants nothing from AI, until AI whispers a secret incentive into her ear. Whatever AI says causes Shimizu to blush a deep crimson. Suddenly, Shimizu is possessed by a surprising vigor and urgency, studying so hard that Daiki finds it intimidating to even speak to her. Tension and proximity. During the study grind, Sato asks Daiki for help with a problem. As Daiki leans in to explain it, he feels a chill, a shudder, and looks around, sensing a pair of angry eyes. It's Shimizu looking visibly jealous as she watches them work together. When Daiki later approaches Shimizu for help with a problem he doesn't understand, she initially tries to pawn him off on Yusuke. However, AI and Yusuke play matchmaker, insisting that since they are sitting next to each other, they should help one another. Geez, you leave me no choice, Shimizu huffs. As they look over the textbook, their shoulders touch. So close. Daiki flusters, and when Shimizu realizes their proximity, she jolts back, her face bright red. Sorry, I was focused on the textbook, she stammers. The result. The midterms end and the club gathers for the results. Yusuke, first place as expected. AI, 18th place, securing her reward from Yusuke. Daiki, 27th place, clearing the top 40. Sato, 33rd place, clearing the top 40. Then comes the shocker. Shimizu took 3rd place. The room is stunned by her academic dominance. While Daiki wonders what reward she could possibly want, the scene shifts to Shimizu's room that night. Clinging to a teddy bear, she finally lets out her excitement. Hell yeah, I did it! I crushed the exams. The flashback reveals AI's whispered bribe. If you score the highest, then during stargazing at the best moment, I'll leave you alone with Daiki-kun. With a look of pure determination and a racing heart, Shimizu declares, let's go. The following day, the club room, usually a hub of chaotic energy, is unusually quiet. Shimizu and Sato sit alone, waiting. Hondo said he's busy and won't come, Shimizu notes, glancing at the empty seats. But what about AI and Yusuke? Sato shrugs. They said student council work is taking longer than expected. A heavy silence falls between them. Shimizu's mind races. She remembers Sato asking Daiki about love, acting so casual about it. I'll tell her, Shimizu decides, her competitive spark lighting up. Hey Sato, she begins. I've got something to tell you. Sato looks up, unfazed. Funnily enough, I've got something to tell you too. They lock eyes, the air crackling with tension. Bring it on, Shimizu challenges. Let's go on 3. 1, 2, 3. You're into Hondo, aren't you? They both shout simultaneously. Shimizu's face turns a violent shade of crimson. What? How does she know? She screams internally before shouting. Why would you think like that? Sato begins ticking off points with cool precision. First off, the timing of your hairstyle changed to the one he said he likes. Secondly, you immediately saw that anime he was talking about. And thirdly, Sato pauses for effect. When he said he wanted to eat a handmade lunch, you made one for him. Hold on. Shimizu shouts, her face burning. How did you know that? Can I choose my right to remain silent? Sato asks. No way. Spit it out. Sato sighs. Fine. Ai-senpai asked me to keep an eye on you. Shimizu's temper flares. Damn it, AI. You should have refused. I would have, Sato admits bluntly, but I was promised dorayaki for the information. Shimizu is speechless. I was sold out for sweets, seen through by a dorayaki addict. And, Sato adds, I'm not into Hondo-kun. Liar. Shimizu retorts. You were talking with him about love, gathering information, and being all friendly. Sato gives her a knowing look. So, you were just pretending to sleep? Shimizu freezes. Sato continues, the one I like is actually Matsuoka-kun. Matsuoka Shunya-kun. Shimizu blinks, the gears in her head shifting. It makes sense. Matsuoka and Hondo are best friends. But then she remembers, didn't Matsuoka say he likes Sato too? I wanted to make sure what I felt for him was love, Sato explains quietly. That's why I asked Hondo-kun about it. Shimizu stays silent, realizing Sato is still navigating her own confusion. I'd better not say too much yet. Sato leans in. Listen, Shimizu-san, don't you think we could help each other out? I can get info out of Hondo for you. Shimizu frowns. But there's nothing I can do about Matsuoka. He's afraid of me. You could have sugar-coated it a little, Sato mutters. Sorry, Shimizu says, I don't need you to do anything about him. I want to ask you for something else. Tell me about love. Sato looks surprised. About love? Yes, Sato says. Since you're in love, I think you could explain things to me. Shimizu hesitates, unsure if she's the best teacher, but she realizes this is a golden opportunity. All right. I'll help you with what I can. They shake hands, a new alliance formed. The supermarket diversion. The next day, the tension of the exams has been replaced by the excitement of the upcoming stargazing trip. Daiki, Shimizu, and Sato are at the supermarket for supplies. We'll finally be stargazing tomorrow, Daiki says, looking at Shimizu. Yes, she replies, though her focus is interrupted by Sato's obsession. Let's buy dorayaki too, Sato insists. Okay geez, Shimizu groans. We could just go after dinner. As they shop, Daiki wonders aloud why AI told them to gather so early at noon. Shimizu, knowing AI's devious mind, scoffs. I doubt she was thinking about anything good. Suddenly, Sato announces, I'll contact you when I have secured the dorayaki later, and vanishes into the aisles. As she walks away, she shoots a subtle thumbs up back at Shimizu. Shimizu breaks into a nervous sweat. Is this her idea of helping? Leaving us alone without notice? We got to go after her, Daiki says, but the supermarket is a labyrinth. I'll tell the others we lost Sato-san. She will probably return soon, Shimizu says, trying to keep her heart rate down. What could we talk about? Just the two of us. The lost child. Their private moment is interrupted when Daiki stops. Oh, sorry, wait a moment. He approaches a small girl who is crying. Do you have a moment? He asks gently. The girl, Satsuki, explains her mom is gone. With a warm smile, Daiki reassures her, I'm Daiki. I'll help you find her. Don't worry, we'll find her soon. Shimizu watches from a few steps back. How are you going to find her? You were listening? Daiki asks. More or less, Shimizu mumbles. I wouldn't continue shopping on my own, though it would have been nice to be by ourselves. Thanks, Daiki says. That's really kind of you. Satsuki looks up at Shimizu and shrinks back. Daiki, who is this scary person? Shimizu feels like she's been struck by lightning. Scary? I know I act like that, but from a kid. She becomes instantly gloomy. She is not scary, Daiki corrects the girl. Her name is Shimizu Kai-san. She's nice, so don't worry. Shimizu is left speechless by his easy defense of her. The drawing and the lovers. As they search, Satsuki grows tired and anxious. Please hold my hand, she asks. Daiki on the right and Kai on the left. Shimizu sighs. I guess we don't have a choice. Holding hands with the child between them, they walk through the store. Satsuki beams. My mom and dad often do this. Mom and dad. Both Daiki and Shimizu flush deep red. Where do we look next? Shimizu asks, her voice trembling slightly. They decide to take a break on a bench. While Daiki goes to find a solution, Shimizu sits with Satsuki. Hey Kai, play with me, the girl insists. Sure, Shimizu says softly, but I won't run around, it would be a nuisance. She pulls out a pen and paper. Look, I've got these. A few minutes later, Daiki returns, hiding his hands behind his back. You seem good at taking care of others, he tells Shimizu. You'll probably be a good mother in the future. What are you talking about? Shimizu blushes furiously. Satsuki interrupts, holding up a paper. It's done. They both lean in to look. It's a drawing of the three of them holding hands. Is that us? Shimizu asks. Wow, you're great at this. Daiki praises her. Suddenly, a discount announcement over the speakers jars Daiki's memory. I completely forgot. I should have thought of it earlier. The customer service counter. A parting gift. At the counter, an announcement is made, and soon Satsuki's mother comes running, crying out her daughter's name. After a tearful reunion and many bows of gratitude, the mother looks at Daiki and Shimizu. We have interrupted your time together, the mother says warmly. You're lovers, right? No. Shimizu shouts, waving her hands. "Ah, you're not." Satsuki asks, looking confused. "But you got this look in your eyes when you're looking at Daiki." Shimizu freezes. "Even a child saw through me." "Shimizu-san." Daiki says, noticing her silence. Shimizu suddenly turns to Satsuki. "No, the thing you said is right." She blushes, but her voice is firm. "I'm right. If you really want to express your thanks, I want that drawing from a moment ago. Would you give it to us?" "Sure." Satsuki chirps. "I am rooting for you." "Yeah, thanks," Shimizu murmurs. As the mother and daughter walk away, Satsuki calls out, "Bye-bye Kai Daiki." "That's nice," Daiki says, looking at the departing pair. Shimizu looks down at the drawing of the two of them holding hands with the little girl. "Yeah," she whispers. Suddenly, Sato reappears out of thin air. "You owe me one," she whispers to Shimizu. "Ah." Shimizu glares at her, her face still hot with a mix of anger and embarrassment. To be continued. On a quiet holiday morning at Daiki's house, sunlight spilling softly through the windows. The air feels calm, almost too calm, like something important is about to happen. Daiki grabs his things and heads toward the door, casually saying, "I'm heading out." But before he can leave, a small voice stops him. "Wait, Daiki." He turns around, slightly confused. "What's up, Kino?" Standing there is his younger sister, Kino, her expression unusually soft, almost hesitant. She looks up at him, making a cute but slightly sad face as she asks, "Do you have to go?" Daiki pauses for a moment, then answers honestly, "Yeah, the sky is clear today. Perfect for stargazing." At his words, Kino's expression drops just a little. She forces a small response, "All right." Daiki notices something feels off, but brushes it aside, stepping out anyway. Meanwhile, somewhere else, Shimizu stands deep in her thoughts, her heart already racing. Today is the day. She clenches her fists slightly, determination building as she thinks to herself, today is finally the day they'll go stargazing together. She has everything planned out perfectly. First, they'll talk about stars when they're alone. Then, when the mood feels right, they'll hold hands. And maybe, just maybe, she'll confess. Her face turns red just imagining it. Time passes and soon everyone gathers together at school. Shimizu sits right beside Daiki, stealing glances at him, her heart beating faster with every second. Everything is going according to plan, until AI suddenly claps her hands and announces loudly, "All right everyone. Everyone's here. Let's play a game." Shimizu freezes. A bad feeling creeps up her spine. She looks at AI and thinks, this is not good. Moments later, AI pulls out sticks and begins explaining. They're playing a Viking game. Everyone draws a stick, and whoever gets the king stick gives orders. Simple. Too simple. Shimizu narrows her eyes. Something about this feels dangerous. The first round begins. Mio becomes the king. After a moment of thinking, she says, "All right, I choose number 2. Everyone checks their sticks. It's Daiki. Shimizu tenses instantly, watching carefully, ready to explode if anything weird happens. But Mio simply smiles and says, "I want something sweet if you have anything." Shimizu blinks. "That's it?" Daiki casually steps forward and says, "I'm number 2, is this fine?" He hands her dorayaki. Mio's eyes sparkle as she takes it, saying, "Are you an angel?" Shimizu exhales slightly. Crisis avoided. For now. Then comes the second round. This time, AI is the king. Shimizu's heart drops. This is bad. Very bad. AI looks around, then smirks slightly before saying, "Number 2 and 4 go to the vending machine while holding hands and buy some juice." Silence. Then, Daiki says, "I'm number 4. And Shimizu, trembling slightly, whispers, "Me." Her face instantly turns red. Her mind goes blank. "And holding? Here. Now." She panics and shouts, "Something is fishy, I want to overturn the order." But no one supports her. The decision stands. Daiki stands up and gently extends his hand toward her. "Let's just go." Shimizu stares at his hand like it's something dangerous. Her thoughts spiral. This wasn't the plan. This wasn't supposed to happen yet. She was going to do this later, under the stars, when everything felt perfect. Not like this. Not suddenly. Her face burns as she slowly reaches out. Wait a moment. But she still places her hand in his. The moment their hands touch, her entire body stiffens. "Ah." Daiki flinches slightly. "Sorry." Shimizu quickly shakes her head, flustered. "Don't apologize, forget it." They walk together hand in hand. Silence surrounds them. But inside Shimizu, it's chaos. Her heart is pounding so loudly it feels like it might explode. Her hand feels hot. Too hot. She can't even look at him. She tries to say something, anything. But nothing comes out. Then Daiki breaks the silence. You know, there are more people than I would have expected, considering what Sato-san said. Shimizu responds awkwardly, oh yeah. But her mind is still spinning. Then Daiki notices something. You are wearing your hair differently today. She stiffens. What of it? You got something against it? He quickly shakes his head. Not at all, it's just it really suits you. Her grip tightens instantly. Her face turns even redder. Okay. After a while they return. Still holding hands. AI notices immediately and smirks. By the way, how long do you plan to hold on to each other for? They both instantly let go. Shimizu explodes, face burning. Damn it, just get the lords ready. The game continues. And unfortunately for Shimizu, AI keeps becoming king. Again. And again. And again. Then comes the worst one. AI declares. Number 3 brings number 4 to a wall and says something cool. Shimizu freezes. This is too much. Way too much. She panics, shouting. You're cheating, check her. But it's already decided. Before she can escape, AI grabs her and pushes her toward the wall. Daiki steps forward. He raises his hand, slams it against the wall beside her, and says, I'll never let anyone else have you. Stay by my side forever. Time stops. Shimizu's brain shuts down completely. Her face turns bright red. Her heart feels like it's going to explode. She can't move. She can't speak. She can't breathe. The game ends. But the damage is done. Later, in the kitchen, everyone gathers again. AI, now punished, sits with a bump on her head, whining. Sorry. Daiki laughs lightly, saying, all in all, it was pretty fun. Shimizu glares at AI, still furious. But deep inside, her heart hasn't calmed down even a little. Then comes one final moment. Shimizu, still flustered, suddenly declares, Look, I'll do it. She turns to Daiki, blushing hard. Here, say ah. She feeds him. Daiki smiles. Thanks, it's pretty tasty. Then he looks at her and says softly, say ah. Her entire body freezes again. Her face turns red instantly. Her thoughts spiral. She wasn't ready for this. Not at all. And as the day continues, one thought lingers in her mind. Will the stargazing go the way she planned? Or will everything fall apart again? Night quietly settles over the school, the sky painted deep blue as anticipation fills the air. The rooftop becomes their little world, far away from everything else. And finally, the moment they've all been waiting for arrives. AI steps forward with excitement shining in her eyes and says, the long-awaited time has come finally. Daiki stretches slightly, looking up at the darkening sky, and says, it's not often that I stay at school this late. I'm pretty excited. I'm really looking forward to watching stars with you all. AI grins confidently and replies, just wait until you see them. Beside them, Shimizu quietly mutters, trying to act composed, the most visible constellations this time of year are. But before she can finish, AI immediately teases, are you planning something, Kai-san? Flustered, Shimizu snaps, shut up. Yusuke glances at the door and says, Yuasa-sensei should be here soon. Then we'll head out. Just then Daiki's phone rings. The mood shifts instantly. Yusuke nods, go ahead, Hondo-kun. Daiki answers, hello. From the other side, his father's worried voice asks, Daiki, is Kino with you? Daiki frowns, confused, what? His father explains, she left a note saying she's looking for you. Daiki's expression tightens, I haven't seen her. His father continues, she might come soon. Tell us if she does. Daiki responds quietly, all right. The group senses something's off. Mio asks, what did he say? Daiki replies, he said that my sister might be coming here. Right then, the rooftop door creaks open. Daiki turns, Kino. From the shadows, a small voice answers, Daiki. Eye lights up instantly, oh how cute you're, Kino-chan. Kino walks straight to him and clings tightly. Daiki sighs, Dad was worrying about you. She pouts, but I left a note. Daiki shakes his head, either way he'd be worried if you disappeared like that. I'll call him to pick you up, okay? Kino immediately refuses, no. Daiki pauses, huh. She insists, no, we're going back together. Tension builds. Daiki tries to explain, come on, I told you I'll be stargazing tonight. But Kino throws a tantrum, no, we're going home. Shimizu steps in, unable to stay quiet anymore. Hey Hondo's sister, stop pestering him. Kino snaps back, I'm not pestering him. He normally plays with me on his days off. Why would he go to school instead? Shimizu responds firmly, can't he make other plans have you now and then? Don't you see you're bothering him? Kino's eyes narrow. Did you force him to come? Shimizu freezes, what? Kino shouts, you have intimidated him into coming, haven't you? My brother is too kind to reject any invitation. There's no way he wants to be here. The atmosphere cracks. Daiki raises his voice, Kino apologized to Shimizu-san. Kino trembles, why Daiki? Then he shouts, apologize. The words hit hard. Kino's eyes fill with tears, and she runs. The rooftop falls silent. Then chaos. Daiki panics, oh Kino. Yusuke takes charge, let's split up and look for her. Mio says, I'll go check there. Ai adds, leave it to us. Shimizu steps forward, yeah, I'll go look too. Daiki nods, thank you. In the quiet hallway, Shimizu runs, her breath uneven. She thinks about Daiki's worried face, about how excited he was just moments ago. Her chest tightens. To hell with my plan. I've got to fix this. Then she spots her. Kino sits alone on a bench. Shimizu calls out, hey. Kino flinches, eek. Then mutters, this scary person. Shimizu sighs softly, sorry for scaring you. Come on, let's go back, everyone's worried. Kino shakes her head, no. Her voice trembles, Daiki's probably still mad I can't go back. Shimizu reassures her, he's not mad, he's worried sick. Kino whispers, liar. I've never seen him like that. He doesn't want me around him anymore. Shimizu finally understands. Kino breaks down, give him back. Shimizu blinks, ha. Tears stream down Kino's face, he's always there when mom and dad came home late. He was always with me. Why is he here? She sobs, I don't want him to leave me alone. Shimizu gently sits beside her. Listen closely. Kino sniffles, what? Shimizu speaks softly, Hondo really cares about you. He'd never ever leave you alone. He often brings you up in conversations. Anyone could tell how much he cherishes you. He's not leaving you behind, so maybe you could let him go out sometimes. Kino's voice breaks, will he forgive me? Shimizu smiles gently, of course he will. Don't cry. Kino nods, yeah. Shimizu pulls her into a hug, letting her cry it out. Later, back with the group. Daiki hugs Kino tightly, I'm so glad you're okay. Kino whispers, Daiki. He apologizes, sorry for getting mad at you. Kino shakes her head, no, it's my fault. They bow to everyone. Thank you all for helping me find her. The group responds warmly. Then Kino walks up to Shimizu, nervous. Guy Shimizu-san. Shimizu replies, what is it? Kino bows deeply, I'm sorry I was so mean to you. Shimizu shrugs lightly, don't worry, I'm not particularly angry. Kino asks, and will you forgive me? Shimizu smiles, yeah. Kino brightens, thank you so much. Then shyly adds, can I call you Kioni-chan? Shimizu freezes, then blushes hard. Geez, if you insist, sure. Finally, the stars. The rooftop glows under a sky full of constellations. Daiki looks up in awe. Shimizu begins explaining softly, pointing at the sky. Those are the spring constellations, Great Bear, Little Bear, and that's a summer one. Kiginus, right? Daiki smiles, you know quite a lot. She replies, since we were going stargazing I thought I'd read up on them. He says warmly, you're pretty serious about this. She snaps lightly, anything wrong with that? He shakes his head, no, I think that's a very nice part of you. She blushes again. Soon it's just the two of them, standing under the endless sky. Daiki quietly says, being together with everyone is fun, but I also like spending time by ourselves like this. Shimizu's heart skips. After a pause, she answers, I also don't dislike spending time with you. Silence. Soft. Warm. Real. Daiki places a hand on his chest, his heart racing. I don't want this moment to end. He looks at her, then up at the stars. I wonder if this is love. If you enjoyed this recap, make sure to like the video, share it with your friends, and hit that subscribe button, because the next part gets even crazier and you don't want to miss it. Since that day, Daiki had realized something he could no longer ignore. Somewhere along the way he had fallen for Shimizu-san. Ever since noticing it, everything between them had started to feel strangely awkward. He could not figure out how to act around her anymore, and every chance to speak honestly slipped away before he could take it. Even so, they continued spending their summer vacation together with the rest of the club. Awkward or not, he had genuinely enjoyed every moment. And now, the final event of their summer had finally arrived. The summer festival. As Daiki waited at the meeting spot, he thought to himself that maybe tonight he would finally be able to talk to Shimizu-san properly. There had not been a single moment between now and the start of the new semester where he had managed to invite her anywhere alone. He kept telling himself he could simply ask her out somewhere casually, but every time he tried, the words refused to come out. Yusuke suddenly called out that it was almost time, and Daiki answered absent-mindedly before reminding everyone about the promise they had made to go to the festival together. Then the girls arrived. AI and the others stepped toward them wearing beautiful yukata, instantly changing the atmosphere around them. Yusuke immediately complimented AI, causing her to blush happily while pretending to act smug about it. Daiki could barely process the sight in front of him. Shimizu-san looked stunning. Before he could say anything, his mind drifted back to a conversation from earlier that summer. Yusuke had confessed to the group that he planned to confess his feelings to AI. Daiki had been completely shocked, but everyone else had already figured it out long ago. Shimizu even called him dense for not noticing. Yusuke explained that they were already approaching graduation, and once that happened, chances to meet would become rare. This summer festival would probably be his final opportunity. He asked all of them for help. Nothing complicated. He simply needed a moment alone with AI when the fireworks began. Everyone agreed immediately. Shimizu confidently told him to leave it to them, while Daiki promised to support him however he could. Back then, Daiki had admired Yusuke's courage. Now, standing at the festival, he understood even more just how terrifying it was to confess your feelings. The memory faded when Shimizu suddenly spoke to him in the present. The moment their eyes met, both of them froze. Daiki's face heated up as he stared at her yukata. He nervously admitted that it suited her perfectly and that she looked really pretty. The compliment immediately made Shimizu blush bright red. Unable to handle the embarrassment, she hurriedly turned away and insisted they should get going since the festival had already started. The group entered the crowded festival streets filled with glowing lanterns and food stalls. AI excitedly listed every snack she wanted to eat while Shimizu teased her for only thinking about food. AI fired back immediately, joking that Shimizu would probably be satisfied just spending time beside Daiki. That comment nearly made Shimizu short-circuit from embarrassment. The night continued with laughter, games, and wandering through the festival together. But throughout it all, Daiki noticed Yusuke growing more and more nervous. Watching him made Daiki realize just how much courage it took to put your feelings into words. Eventually, the announcement for the first fireworks echoed through the festival. Yusuke quickly suggested that he and AI search for a good viewing spot. Shimizu immediately understood the plan and suggested that the rest of them split up too. Once Yusuke and AI disappeared into the crowd, Daiki mentioned that maybe they should not interrupt them during the fireworks. Shimizu agreed, proudly declaring their mission accomplished. But after a moment, she mischievously suggested they secretly follow them anyway. Daiki hesitated, but Shimizu grabbed the lead immediately, dragging him along with Sito as they quietly tailed the pair through the festival grounds. Soon they found Yusuke and AI alone together beneath the night sky. Hidden behind bushes nearby, the three watched silently. Daiki quietly asked Shimizu how long she had known about Yusuke's feelings. She explained that as his childhood friend, she had noticed it years ago. Sito admitted she had figured it out naturally too after spending so much time with them in the club. Hearing that Yusuke had carried these feelings for years made Daiki think about his own emotions. Watching Yusuke prepare himself despite all the fear in his eyes filled him with admiration. Shimizu quietly admitted that even if AI's answer seemed obvious, confessing still required tremendous courage. Daiki agreed. He hoped that someday he would be brave enough to confess to Shimizu-san too. Then the moment finally came. As fireworks preparations began in the distance, AI casually suggested calling the others over to watch together. Yusuke nervously lied, saying he had just received a message claiming the others found a different viewing spot and planned to watch separately. AI accepted it without suspicion. Then Yusuke called her name. His voice trembled as he confessed that he had loved her for a very long time and wanted to stay by her side forever. He asked her to go out with him. AI immediately burst into tears. Before anyone could react, she rushed forward and hugged him tightly, crying as she confessed that she loved him too more than anything in the world, more than anything in the universe. Watching the scene unfold left even Daiki emotional. Beside him, Shimizu smiled warmly, relieved that everything had worked out. They decided to quietly leave before getting caught. Unfortunately, Shimizu accidentally stepped on a branch. The loud snap instantly exposed them. Yusuke called out in confusion while the three panicked and ran for their lives. Sito eventually stopped and sacrificed herself to buy the other two time to escape, sending them away with a teasing smile. After running for a while, Daiki and Shimizu finally slowed down, both breathing heavily. That was when Daiki noticed her injured foot. The unfamiliar sandals and frantic running had left it bruised. Without hesitation, Daiki crouched down and told her to climb onto his back. Shimizu instantly protested, embarrassed by the idea, but Daiki insisted. He did not want to see her forcing herself to walk while in pain. Still flustered, she warned him not to call her heavy or she would send him flying. Then she quietly climbed onto his back. As Daiki carried her through the festival night, the atmosphere between them grew softer and quieter. Shimizu admitted that Yusuke's confession had been really cool. Daiki agreed while secretly wishing he could someday confess that boldly too. Then Shimizu shyly asked if he ever wondered what they looked like to other people right now. Daiki answered honestly. Probably like a couple. Her face turned bright red as she asked whether he was really okay with that even though they were not dating. Daiki quietly admitted that he did not mind at all. Because deep down it was exactly what he wanted. At that exact moment, the fireworks exploded across the night sky. Bright colors illuminated Shimizu's blushing face as she apologized for making him miss the fireworks because of her injury. But Daiki smiled and told her he was simply happy to watch them together. The words caught Shimizu off guard. Flustered, she almost admitted something before stopping herself halfway. Then, after gathering her courage, she softly asked him if they could watch the fireworks together again next year too. Daiki smiled warmly and agreed. As the fireworks continued blooming above them, he quietly wished that by next year, he would be inviting her not just as a friend, but as his girlfriend. The evening air in the classroom felt unusually calm as Daiki sat across from Shunya, the fading sunlight stretching long shadows over their desks. Shunya leaned back casually, studying his friend with a knowing grin before pointing out that Daiki had finally realized he had a crush on Shimizu-san. Daiki admitted it without trying to deny anything anymore, then awkwardly apologized for taking so long to notice his own feelings. Shunya only laughed softly, saying he had expected this outcome sooner or later anyway. Then he asked the important question, what Daiki planned to do now that he understood his feelings. Daiki looked confused at first, but Shunya explained further, asking if there was something he wanted to do with Shimizu. Daiki immediately remembered the night they watched the fireworks together. The colorful explosions in the sky, the warmth of standing beside her, and the quiet happiness of that moment resurfaced clearly in his mind. He admitted that next year he wanted to watch the fireworks together with her again. But as he thought about it more deeply, another feeling naturally rose inside him. He realized that more than anything else he simply wanted to stay together with her. Shunya smiled quietly at the answer and remarked that Daiki had changed. Daiki looked confused, asking what he meant, but Shunya only kept smiling, clearly amused at how love had slowly transformed his usually dense friend. Meanwhile, at Shimizu's home, AI suddenly burst into her room with dramatic energy and declared that Shimizu had a mission. Confused and annoyed, Shimizu asked what she wanted now. AI explained that she would soon be fully occupied preparing for entrance exams, so before that happened she wanted to keep pushing Shimizu forward in her relationship with Daiki. When Shimizu reluctantly asked what the mission was, AI immediately suggested having a video call with Daiki. The idea caught Shimizu off guard. AI excitedly explained that talking with your crush until you fell asleep was guaranteed to bring two people closer together. After thinking about it for a moment, Shimizu surprisingly accepted the idea. AI eagerly asked if she needed help inviting him, but Shimizu refused, insisting she could handle it herself. She mentioned that Sito and Kino had already promised to help her if needed. AI looked proud of her progress and teasingly told her to come crying for help anytime she ran into trouble. Naturally, Shimizu denied she would ever do such a thing. The next morning at school, everything felt strangely normal despite the huge task hanging over Shimizu's head. Daiki greeted her as usual, and they casually talked about math homework, but Shimizu's mind was completely elsewhere. She kept wondering how she was supposed to ask him. She realized she had never really invited him to do anything before, which only made her more nervous. Still, she knew this was exactly why she had to do it. If she wanted to get closer to him, she needed to become more aggressive. Daiki noticed her distracted expression and asked if she was okay. She quickly brushed it off, but when he gently mentioned that she seemed lost in thought, she became curious and asked why he was not pressing her for answers. Daiki calmly explained that while he was curious, He did not want to force her to talk about something she was uncomfortable sharing. That simple kindness immediately made her blush. Feeling cornered by her own emotions, she declared that she would tell him later that day and told him to wait. Even when Daiki said she did not have to force herself, she stubbornly insisted she would do it. The entire day passed, but when the two of them finally ended up alone together, Shimizu completely lost her nerve. Sitting beside him with a gloomy expression, she internally panicked over how she had failed to say a single thing. Since Ai and Yusuke were busy studying while Sito was occupied at the library, this was probably her only chance to talk privately with him that day. Seeing how troubled she looked, Daiki gently suggested that she could always tell him tomorrow instead. But Shimizu suddenly grabbed her phone instead of speaking directly. Nervously typing out a message, she sent it to him while sitting right beside him. Daiki looked down at his phone and read the simple message asking if he wanted to have a video call with her. To her surprise, he laughed. Embarrassed, Shimizu demanded to know what was so funny. Daiki apologized and explained that because she had been hesitating so much all day, he thought it was going to be something far more serious. Trying to stay composed, Shimizu quietly asked for his answer. Daiki immediately agreed and asked when she wanted to do it. She suggested Saturday night, and after he agreed once more, the plan was finally set. That night at home, Shimizu paced restlessly around her room, unable to calm down. Ai barged in dramatically again and immediately noticed how worried she looked. Once Shimizu admitted that the mission was progressing successfully, her concerns shifted toward a completely different problem: what she should wear. The moment Shimizu asked for advice, Ai smugly pointed out that she had indeed come crying for help after all. Ignoring the teasing, Shimizu listened as Ai suggested cute nightwear since Daiki would probably appear in casual clothes during the nighttime call. Unfortunately for Shimizu, Ai also pointed out that Daiki would likely only be wearing something simple like a t-shirt, which instantly filled her imagination with embarrassing images. Flustered, Shimizu denied imagining anything at all and insisted she had already seen him casually dressed before. Naturally, Ai saw right through her reaction. The next day, she dragged Shimizu shopping for matching nightwear anyway. Finally, the night of the video call arrived. Standing nervously in her room, Shimizu stared down at the cute nightwear they had bought together. Her face burned red as she wondered if it was too much and debated changing clothes at the last second. Still, part of her genuinely wanted to charm him. She encouraged herself to stay strong, reminding herself that Daiki was so dense she needed to put in extra effort if she wanted him to notice her. Then her phone began ringing. Her heart immediately jumped. It was Daiki. Taking a deep breath, she answered the call. Daiki appeared on the screen and greeted her warmly, asking if he had called at the right time. Shimizu answered nervously, but then noticed him suddenly go quiet while staring at her. For one glorious second, she wondered if her plan had worked. Then Daiki admitted, while blushing slightly himself, that he had simply been thinking about how cute she looked in those clothes. The compliment instantly made all of Shimizu's efforts feel worth it. Daiki continued honestly, saying that although she always wore cool-looking outfits, these clothes suited her really well too. Shimizu tried to maintain composure, but the praise clearly made her happy. Embarrassed, she warned him not to go around calling every girl cute or she would make him pay for it. Daiki immediately denied saying such things to everyone, which only made her blush even harder. Once the awkwardness settled, Daiki asked what she wanted to talk about. Unfortunately, Shimizu realized she had spent so much energy preparing for the call itself that she had completely forgotten to think of conversation topics. In the end, they simply chatted casually. And surprisingly, it felt wonderful. They talked about school, friends, and random everyday things. As the conversation flowed naturally, Shimizu realized how much she had already changed because of him. She thought about everything she had done just to catch his attention: dyeing her hair black again, learning to cook, changing hairstyles, trying cute clothes, and pushing herself into situations she normally would have avoided. Yet strangely enough, she did not dislike any of those changes. At some point, Daiki noticed her becoming quieter and asked if she was falling asleep. Startled, she admitted the truth instead. She confessed that she had simply been thinking about him. Daiki softly thanked her, which immediately made her flustered because that was not the kind of confession someone responded to with thanks. But Daiki explained that hearing those words made him feel warm inside. Then, after a short pause, he admitted something even more personal. Whenever he talked to her, he sometimes felt as though the emptiness inside him was slowly being filled by her words. Little by little, she was changing him into her colors. The moment those words reached her ears, Shimizu completely short-circuited. Her face turned bright red as she panicked and declared that this was bad. Daiki gently laughed and said he did not think it was a bad thing at all, but Shimizu could no longer handle the overwhelming embarrassment. In a desperate attempt to escape, she abruptly announced that she was going to sleep because she suddenly felt sleepy. Though confused, Daiki simply accepted it and wished her good night. After hanging up, Shimizu immediately collapsed onto her bed, burying her burning face into the sheets as Daiki's words replayed endlessly inside her mind. "You're changing me more and more into your colors." Lying there alone in the darkness, she quietly realized that the exact same thing was happening to her too. And with that thought, she covered her face while blushing even harder as the chapter came to an end. That's it for today's recap. If you enjoyed the video, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter. And make sure to use YouTube's new hype feature on this video to help push the channel even further. Your hype seriously helps more people discover these recaps. Comment your favorite moment below, and I'll see you in the next insane chapter recap. Few days before Shimizu's birthday, AI gathered everyone together with an exciting announcement. "I want to invite everyone to Kei's birthday party." Daiki blinked in surprise. "Shimizu-san's birthday party?" "Yep, this Saturday," AI replied with a smile. "Yusuke's coming too." "Saturday works for me," Daiki said. "Me too," Sato added. "Great, then it's settled." Before the conversation ended, Daiki hesitated for a moment before speaking up. "AI-san, can I bring Kino along?" "Ichem? Why?" "She's been going crazy over Shimizu-san lately." Kei immediately smiled. "I'd be happy to see her." "Well, if Kei's okay with it, then we'll make it 6 people, AI said. "Thanks. Then I'll see everyone on Saturday," Kei replied. And before long, Saturday finally arrived. As Daiki walked toward Shimizu's house with Kino at his side, both of them were visibly excited. "I'm really looking forward to Shimizu-san's birthday party," Daiki said. "Me too." While Kino happily skipped ahead, Daiki couldn't stop thinking about the present hidden in his bag. "I spent forever choosing it, but will she actually like it? I'll finally get to see Kei again," Kino said excitedly. "Did you bring your present?" Kino immediately turned red. "Why yes. I'm sure she'll like it." Daiki laughed. "I hope mine makes her happy too." Soon they arrived at the party. The room was warm and lively as everyone gathered around Kei's birthday cake. "Happy birthday." Kei smiled brightly as the candles flickered before her. A few moments later, her mother picked up the cake. "I'll go cut this for everyone." "Thank you," Yusuke replied. Then AI suddenly clapped her hands. "Let's play a game." "Sounds fun," Daiki said. "A drawing game?" Kei asked. "Exactly. I'll hand out sketchbooks, split everyone into teams, and we'll get started." Soon everyone was scribbling away while trying to guess each other's drawings. Some drawings were surprisingly good. Others were complete disasters. At one point both Kei and Kino somehow ended up drawing cats, causing everyone to burst into laughter. After several rounds, AI stretched her arms. "That was fun. Next up is..." Before she could finish, Kei's mother suddenly appeared. "Daiki-kun, do you have a moment?" Daiki froze. "Shimizu-san's mother? My husband just got home. He says he'd like to talk with you." "Huh?" Cold sweat immediately ran down Daiki's back. What does he want to talk about?" "I don't know. He didn't tell me." Even Kei looked confused. "Did you do something?" "I have absolutely no idea." Daiki's imagination immediately went wild. "Did I accidentally offend him? Is he angry that I came to a girl's house?" Meanwhile Kei frowned. "Why can't he just talk here?" "Apparently he insisted on speaking to him alone," her mother explained. Even AI looked surprised. "That's unlike him." Daiki swallowed hard. "I have no idea why he's calling me specifically, but refusing would be rude." Taking a deep breath, he nodded. "All right. I'll talk with him." Kei looked worried. "Are you okay, Hondo?" "I'll be fine. I'll be back soon." With that, Daiki left the room. A few moments later, he found himself standing before Kei's father. "Hello." "Hello, Daiki-kun. I'm Kei's father. Sorry for interrupting the party." "No, not at all." After a brief silence, the man finally spoke. "This is about Kei." Daiki straightened immediately. Then Kei's father looked down thoughtfully. Ever since she was little, she struggled to interact with other people. His voice softened. But this year something changed. Daiki listened quietly. She started making friends. She began spending time with people outside the family. Then to Daiki's shock, the man bowed. "Thank you." What? "I haven't done anything. AI told me everything." She said you've helped her tremendously. Daiki shook his head. I just enjoy talking with her. You may think that's a small thing, but for Kei it isn't. Daiki smiled. Honestly, talking with her has been fun for me too. The father stared at him before smiling warmly. I'm glad to hear you say that. For a moment, Daiki remembered all the time he'd spent with Kei. The shy girl he'd first met felt completely different now. Then her father suddenly cleared his throat. Actually, there's one more thing. Yes. The man's eyes narrowed slightly. Daiki-kun, what do you think of Kei? Daiki's face instantly exploded red. Before he could answer, the door slid open. Honey? Kei's mother appeared. Stop putting Daiki-kun on the spot. The father immediately coughed. Right? Sorry. Daiki awkwardly laughed. And no, it's fine. You can head back now. The moment he was dismissed, Daiki escaped. When he returned to the living room, everyone had already started exchanging gifts. Sato handed over hers first. Here's my present. Kei opened it. A novel? It's the one I recommended. Thank you. Kei smiled happily. AI looked toward Daiki. We didn't know when you'd come back, so we started without you. No problem. As Daiki watched Kei smile, his heart began pounding again. I wonder what she'll think of mine. All right, AI announced. Only Daiki-kun and Kino-chan are left. I'll go first. Daiki stepped forward and handed over his gift. Happy birthday, Shimizu-san. Thank you. Can I open it? Of course. Everyone watched as Kei carefully removed the wrapping. Then she froze. Inside was a teddy bear. A faint blush spread across her cheeks. It's so cute. Kino exclaimed. Doesn't it kind of look like... AI started. Before she could finish, Kei hugged the teddy tightly against her chest. Her face grew even redder. Thank you, Hondo. She squeezed the teddy even tighter. I'll treasure it. Daiki felt all his worries instantly disappear. She likes it? The smile on her face told him everything. Then Kino suddenly stood up. Okay. My turn. She proudly handed Kei an envelope. Curious, Kei opened it. Then she froze. What? Daiki blinked. Kei slowly turned the paper around. Written on it were the words, do whatever you want with Daiki. Silence. Then chaos erupted. Kino. What's this? Daiki shouted. I thought she'd like this gift the most. Kino answered proudly. Kei's face became bright red. I can't accept something like this. You don't want it? That's not what I mean. Kei looked away nervously. Daiki didn't agree to it? Daiki scratched his cheek awkwardly. It's fine. I don't think you'd do anything weird with it. That somehow made Kei even more embarrassed. Thank you. Daiki laughed nervously. Though I don't know how useful I'd actually be. Without thinking, Kei immediately replied. Of course you're useful. In lots of ways. The room went silent. Daiki stared. AI stared. Everyone stared. Only then did Kei realize what she just said. Wait. Forget I said that. AI immediately grinned. Were you thinking out loud? Shut up, AI. The room exploded into laughter. As everyone continued teasing Kei while she desperately tried to defend herself, Daiki simply looked around the room and smiled. Everyone was laughing. Everyone was having fun. And watching Kei clutch the teddy bear he'd given her made him realize something. This birthday party had become a memory none of them would ever forget. That night, Shimizu looks at the two teddy bears from her birthday and can't stop smiling. The party was fun and it's enough to keep her happy for a while. But then she starts overthinking. Friends don't usually give each other birthday presents like that, right? Her attention shifts to the special pass Kino gave her. Do whatever you want with Daiki pass. The problem is, most of the things she'd want from him are things he'd already do without complaining. She even considers asking him to make her a bento, but that doesn't feel right either. Not knowing what to use it for, she ends up calling Kino for advice. The next day, Daiki admits to Shunya that he wants to invite Shimizu out but can't bring himself to say it. Ever since realizing his feelings, talking to her has become way harder than before. Seeing the problem, Shunya comes up with a plan. Since exams are coming up, they'll hold a study session with Daiki, Shimizu, Sito, and himself. When Daiki invites Shimizu, she's confused at first, then quickly realizes Shunya is probably trying to get closer to Sito too. With everyone on board, the group heads to Daiki's house after school. Kino greets everyone at the door and immediately starts talking about the pass again. She tells Shimizu they'll discuss their plan later, leaving Daiki completely confused about what they're plotting behind his back. Once they're in Daiki's room, Shunya immediately tries to expose Daiki by suggesting they look through his childhood photos. Daiki desperately tries to stop that from happening, but Sito likes the idea, and to his horror, Shimizu looks even more interested than anyone else. She admits she'd definitely want to see them if given the choice. Daiki can only pray everyone forgets about it later. The group eventually gets to studying. Shunya ends up helping everyone with questions, and Sito reveals she prepared ahead of time because she wanted to impress him. She says it so openly that even Daiki is caught off guard. Shunya proudly accepts the praise, and the two end up getting along surprisingly well. Meanwhile, Shimizu helps Daiki with a problem he's stuck on, and before long everyone notices how natural the two of them are together. Later, Kino brings drinks and Shunya offers to go buy snacks. Kino immediately orders Daiki to go with him because the girls want a private meeting. Daiki is dying to know what they're talking about, but he gets kicked out anyway. While shopping, Shunya points out that things are going well. He also notices the atmosphere between Daiki and Shimizu and directly says what Daiki is really after. He wants to ask her on a date. Daiki admits it, and Shunya decides to help one last time by promising to walk Sito home after the study session. That way, Daiki and Shimizu will end up alone together. Realizing how much effort Shunya has put into helping him, Daiki finally makes up his mind. No matter what, he's asking Shimizu out today. After more studying, the session finally ends. Sito thanks everyone and says she feels ready for the exams. Just as planned, Shunya offers to walk her home and she accepts. Before long, the two leave together, leaving Daiki and Shimizu alone. This is the moment. Daiki tries to ask her out, but the words just won't come out. Every time he starts, he freezes. Shimizu notices immediately and says she has something she wants to say first. Then she pulls out the pass. Completely red-faced, she hands it to him and uses it to ask him on a date. For a second it looks like Daiki is rejecting her. He says he can't accept it and Shimizu is completely caught off guard. But then he explains. If she asked him out before he could ask her, he'd never forgive himself for being that lame. Gathering all his courage, Daiki finally says the words he's been trying to say all day and asks Shimizu to go on a date with him. The realization hits her instantly. He wanted the same thing all along. He just didn't want her to have to use the pass for it. After taking a moment to steady herself, Shimizu smiles, agrees and finally accepts. Their first date is officially happening. Shimizu is completely overwhelmed as she wonders what she should do about planning the date. Kino quickly reassures her that everything will be fine if they put their heads together and brainstorm. Sito agrees, encouraging her not to worry. Feeling supported by her friends, Shimizu sincerely thanks both Sito and Kino. Wasting no time, Sito enthusiastically announces that it's time to start planning Hondo-kun and Shimizu-san's date, causing both Shimizu and Kino to become fired up with determination. As they begin discussing ideas, Shimizu suggests that they should probably decide where to go first. However, Sito reminds her that she had already told her to leave that decision to Daiki. Hearing that, Shimizu becomes troubled because she wanted to prepare the perfect plan to make sure he enjoyed himself, but the more she thinks about it, the harder it becomes to decide on the right place. One suggestion is an amusement park since it's a fun and safe choice, but Sito instead recommends going to the cinema. When Shimizu questions why, Sito explains that spending time alone with Daiki will probably make her nervous, and a movie would naturally reduce the pressure of constantly finding something to talk about. Although Shimizu hates to admit it, she realizes Sito makes a good point and reluctantly agrees to go with the cinema idea. Before they can continue, the door suddenly flies open as Shimizu's older sister, Ai, barges into the room demanding to know why she wasn't invited. Shimizu explains that she thought Ai was busy studying for her entrance exams and didn't want to disturb her. Touched by her younger sister's consideration, Ai dramatically comments on her kindness before confidently declaring that she already has a better plan. She pulls out a sheet of paper and presents her proposal. After looking it over, Shimizu is impressed and admits that the idea is actually pretty good. The next day finally arrives, marking the long-awaited date. Daiki excitedly leaves home much earlier than necessary because he simply couldn't contain his anticipation. As he walks toward the meeting place, he realizes he doesn't even know where they're going, but he promises himself that instead of letting Shimizu do everything, he'll make sure she enjoys the date too. When he reaches the meeting spot, he finds Shimizu already waiting. She laughs, noticing that they both arrived earlier than planned. As Daiki looks at her, he can't help noticing how different she looks today. Gathering his courage, he sincerely tells her that she looks beautiful. The unexpected compliment immediately turns Shimizu bright red, and in her flustered state, she shyly returns the compliment by saying that he looks different too. Daiki admits that he spent a surprisingly long time choosing his outfit, something he's never done before, and secretly worries about whether she likes it. His anxiety immediately disappears when Shimizu warmly tells him that it suits him perfectly. Relieved, Daiki thanks her, and with both of them blushing from embarrassment, they happily begin their date together. After traveling for a while, they arrive at their destination, an aquarium. Daiki is pleasantly surprised, admitting that he hasn't visited one since primary school. Hearing that makes Shimizu even happier because she had already prepared everything in advance, including a pair of tickets so they could enter immediately. When Daiki offers to pay her back, she explains that the tickets were actually given to her, so there's no need to worry about it. Inside the aquarium, Shimizu asks if there's any specific animal he'd like to see first. Since it's been such a long time since his last visit, Daiki suggests simply following the exhibits in order. Delighted by his answer, Shimizu eagerly declares that she'll personally guide him through the entire aquarium. As they admire the colorful sea creatures, Daiki is amazed by the beautiful scenery and points out several fish that catch his attention. Every time he asks about one, Shimizu immediately identifies it and enthusiastically explains facts about each species. However, her excitement gets the better of her as some fish swim away before she can finish explaining, causing her to desperately call after them as if they might actually listen. Watching her frantically chase after disappearing fish makes Daiki laugh. Embarrassed, Shimizu apologizes because this wasn't how she imagined things would go. Realizing just how knowledgeable she is, Daiki asks if she studied all these fish specifically for today's date. Her embarrassed blush confirms that she did. Touched by the effort she put into making the day enjoyable, Daiki sincerely thanks her and tells her that even if the fish disappear, he'd still love to hear everything she prepared. That simple request instantly restores Shimizu's confidence, and she excitedly continues giving her detailed explanations as they spend the rest of the aquarium tour happily learning about countless sea creatures together. Eventually they arrive at the penguin exhibit. The moment Shimizu sees the penguins waddling around, her entire expression softens with excitement. Rather than watching the penguins themselves, Daiki finds himself watching her adorable reaction instead, realizing just how much she genuinely loves them. They stay to watch the feeding show together, and seeing Shimizu's childlike excitement only makes Daiki smile even more. Afterward they head to the souvenir shop. Spotting a penguin plush, Daiki asks if she'd like one, but Shimizu shyly refuses because she still treasures the teddy bear he previously gave her. Even so, Daiki picks out a small palm-sized penguin plush and offers to buy it for her. Shimizu hesitates, pointing out that it isn't her birthday or any special occasion. Daiki gently reminds her that she planned today's entire date and even studied fish just to make him happy, so he wants to do something for her in return. Unable to refuse his kindness, Shimizu finally accepts the gift with a grateful smile. As they continue browsing the souvenir shop, Daiki suggests buying keychains. Gathering all of her courage, Shimizu shyly proposes buying matching penguin keychains together. The suggestion catches Daiki completely off guard, making him blush at the thought of having matching souvenirs with her. Still, he happily agrees and even chooses a penguin design himself. When Shimizu wonders why he picked penguins instead of another animal, Daiki smiles and explains that it perfectly represents today's memories together. Hearing that makes Shimizu smile warmly as they purchase the matching keychains. Leaving the aquarium with happy memories, Daiki tells her how much fun he had and thanks her for bringing him there. When he asks if she enjoyed herself too, Shimizu immediately answers yes without any hesitation. With the first part of the date over, Daiki announces that it's now his turn to lead and reveals that he already knows where they're going next, though he teasingly refuses to reveal the destination. However, just as they are about to board the train, their plans are interrupted when they unexpectedly run into Sato and Shunya. Although Shunya awkwardly claims it is merely a coincidence, Shimizu instantly realizes they deliberately came to find them. When she demands an explanation, Sato jokingly claims to have amnesia, earning an immediate rejection from Shimizu, who refuses to fall for such an obvious excuse. Shunya finally admits that they found the couple and that Sato wanted to secretly watch their date. Realizing they had been observed the entire time, Shimizu becomes completely flustered while both Sato and Shunya quietly apologize. Confused by their strange behavior, Daiki asks why they would do something like that. Rather than answering directly, Shunya exchanges a meaningful glance with Sato before turning back to the couple and asking if the two of them have a moment to talk. His serious tone instantly changes the atmosphere, leaving both Daiki and Shimizu confused as the chapter comes to an unexpected end.